that source. And you can call it God, you can call it the source, you can say Jesus is your familiar, or I can say that my familiar is a saint known as my mother who connects me better to the source, like everybody's going to see it differently.
When it comes to the part about the cult leaders and the familiars, right? And this is how I took it. The priests and the there ain't supposed to be female preachers, but there are now. The priests and priestesses of Christianity, whether it be Protestantism, Catholicism, Orthodoxy, whatever sect of Christianity. And that's another thing that annoyed me. They kept arguing as if Orthodoxy was the one and only authority in Christianity, which is not true, because you've got the authority of Christianity, which is subdivided by every other sect. But anyway, I digress. They were talking about, like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but you were essentially saying Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit are familiars to God, and the priests and priestesses that preach to people are the cult leaders or the leaders within that faith. Correct? Is that you, Joe Cool?
That beat me, man. I couldn't hear you out the first time I was up here.
Fair enough. I don't know if Witchy's still here. Okay.
Hello, Joe. I'm sorry. I muted because my son was talking to me. I didn't think y'all wanted to hear that.
Did you hear what I was saying, though?
I did. Yep. I did. And in the long run, though, that's a debate about like faith and the subjective points of it. And I was trying to stick to the objective facts of the dogma, the practice, what they actually do.
That is, though, that's still a score for your point, because here's the thing, right? And I even said this in chat. Humanity has been practicing faith and religion and ceremony the way you describe for 100,000 years. Christianity has only been around in its various forms for at most 2,000 years.
Yeah, he kept saying history and tradition, and I'm like, but ours goes back before yours.
Well, and that's the thing. Glacier pissed me off because she's like, well, where's your authority? Where's your authority? And I'm like, bitch, it's because Christians like you, ravenous retards who seek power, burned it all. Christians like me who seek knowledge and wisdom and to be one with God, try to preserve it, to understand. And like, that's what makes me mad about these people.
Okay, I'm going to drop out here, guys, and I'm going to come back on the laptop so you can hear me better. I'll be right back.
All right.
What were you going to say, Jim?
She also, I think it was Glacier, I don't know, who had the definition of orthodox. Good bit, my nigga. Somebody just texted me. That's funny. Shut up. Anyway, her definition pretty much of orthodox ritual was gathering and doing anything under God or for God.
Or two or more gather in my name.
Nikki's shit fit under. I thought that was so fucking broad. Anything fit under there. So I don't think she scored no points.
They literally use incense and fucking incantation and chanting and singing, like,
and now you're not gonna
actual witchcraft.
Is that you, Witchy? Is that you, Lee Fang?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, is that you, Witchy? Thumbs up if you want to come up, cammed up, Witchy. Okay, you can't back down. I'll bring us all up. All right, y'all are up. Welcome to the show. Orthos believe you can't do anything or know anything unless you're them. Exactly. And my knowledge completely fucks them over. That's why I don't debate these people, even though one of them, Emmett, is my friend. And I'm okay with ABG, even though she doesn't like me. Like, I don't have an issue with her. But the Pleasure Squad and the rest of these fucking retards like Geoverse and RX, they can kiss the fattest part of my fat white ass.
What are you mad about today?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
I'm annoyed with how they treated Witchy, and like I said, I'm not going to start reviewing the thing until Paige is done streaming. But like the way that they did Witchy after the debate, after a really awesome debate, Witchy got them on almost every point. Only reason I didn't want to agree with Witchy is because I'm a Christian. Now, once you dive into the theology and the reasons why, there are differences. But if you're just having a discussion on the practices, devoid of the actual like faith, devoid of everything, yes, no, Christianity is no different than the way every other religion and every other people has practiced their mysticism. It's plain and simple. And if you can't admit that, you're fucking retarded. why would I stop dick riding a winner when they're over there having to fucking cope and seethe and fucking gang bang and set trip? Like, Wi-Fi, I'm not in the mood today, bro.
Well, definitely coming up to argue definitions after the debate when they supposedly won definitely showed she knew they didn't really win. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The vitriol and anger as well also shows that the results were purely tribalistic.
Also, the prompt wasn't witchcraft is Orthodox Christianity.
Very
The
good.
debate prompt wasn't witchcraft is the Orthodox Church.
All right.
It was Christianity.
It was that Christianity is
Yeah,
witchcraft.
that makes
not
a use of
witchcraft is
Orthodox
Christianity.
ritual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like banana is a fruit, but fruit isn't a banana.
Good evening, Nude Guru. Yes, this is the Death Cult tryouts. You have your cross, your garlic, and your holy water. But you forgot the Bible. So you can't come in.
That's right.
I still got a leg on ice for you, Nudie.
Yeah, you got to be invited in, bro. You know how it goes.
Oh, I want to read numbers. Can I read numbers?
Well, yes, you can, but will you share it? So
I read
people
it on
know?
my last debate, but fuck yeah, read it again. It's a good passage.
Yeah, I'll read it. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Here, let me flip pages. 107, 108.
Calm down, dude. Witchy displayed good faith. Bullying isn't Christian. I would tend to agree. All right, here you go, Denny.
Was this
Turn this
reference
shit
to the
off.
debate or something?
Yeah, well,
This
they were
is my
talking about-
proof that Christianity is witchcraft.
Okay.
Let me know when
it's
you're ready.
not- It's not referenced in this debate. It was referenced in my last debate, though.
Which I feel like you should have referenced it in this debate. That would have been.
No,
That
it wasn't the
would've
last
been
one.
beautiful.
I
It was
actually-
referenced in the one before
I
that
learned-
when I debated Glacier on whether women should have to, or the one before that with
you
eugenics.
go
I
out of
referenced
that
it a
my
couple
shit?
times in debates with these people, but I didn't reference it tonight
Nice.
fully.
I learned about this from Nikki several years ago during Bible study, which she had on her channel, and Emmett and his cohorts desperately need because they are woefully uninformed about the Bible. Can you all read the screen? Is it clear?
I-
Yes.
Okay, so, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel. If any man's wife goes astray and breaks faith with him, if a man vies with her sexually, and it's hidden from the eyes of her husband, and she is undetected, though she has defiled herself, and there is no witness against her, then she was not taken in the act. And if the spirit of jealousy comes over him, and he is jealous of his wife who has defiled herself, or if the spirit of jealousy comes over him and he is jealous of his wife, though she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest, and bring the offering required of her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. He shall pour no oil on it, and put no frankincense on it, for it is a grain of offering of jealousy, a grain offering of remembrance, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near, and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthenware vessel, and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle, and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before Lord, and unbind the hair of the woman's head, and place in her hands the grain offering of remembrance, which is the grain offering of jealousy. And in his hand the priest shall have the water of bitterness that brings the curse. Then the priest shall make her take an oath, saying, If no man has lain with you, and if you have not turned aside to the uncleanness while you were under your husband's authority, be free from this water of bitterness that brings the curse. But if you have gone astray, though you are under your husband's authority, and you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has lain with you, Then let the priest make the woman take the oath of the curse and say to the woman, the Lord make you a curse and an oath among your people. When the Lord makes your thigh fall away and your body swell, may this water that brings the curse pass into your bowels and make your womb swell and your thigh fall away. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. Then the priest shall write these curses in a book and wash them off into the water of bitterness. And he shall make the woman drink the water of bitterness that brings the curse. And the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain. And the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy out of a woman's hand, and shall wave the grain offering before the Lord and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the grain offering as its memorial portion, and burn it on the altar. And afterward shall make the woman drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then, if she has defiled herself and broken faith with her husband, the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain, and her womb shall swell, and her thigh fall away. And if the woman shall become a curse among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive children. If that's not witchcraft, I don't know what is.
It's definitely abortion.
This is why I brought it up in the abortion
I'm
debate.
thinking of their counter argument, they'd have to run to modern day orthodoxy. You'd have to deny that as being Christian part of that's old. You'd have to at least say that's ancient. We don't do that no more.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. We get our laws from the Old Testament, and our new shit comes from being in. Like, here's the thing, right? Our new shit comes from being in the grace of Christ. Doesn't mean we throw away the old law. If you're still a cheating whore who cheated on her husband, you don't have to no longer destroy the baby or be put to death or whatever the punishment is biblically, right? Because you are living in the grace of Christ. You can be forgiven.
Right. So you can go to your familiar and you can petition to God.
So, like, it's basically witchcraft light without all the ritual spells and tabernacles and dust.
I would,
which, by the way, is way cooler in my opinion.
Well, that's exactly the witchcraft they were putting those women to the stake for in Salem.
Emmett brought that up. What I didn't
I would
get
have had to hear a definition.
Yeah, it's me.
Emmett kind of backed me up, and he didn't even get that he did because he brought up that the reason the church took a monopoly on magic is because
I got trauma because I got an iPhone. Can y'all hear Josh?
Well,
you can't hear Nikki either.
Okay, I got a bell.
The problem with these things, the problem with these religious debates and religious folks is they don't think for themselves. They don't have the where. First off, let me say this, and I wanted to say this earlier. I'm glad that Casper and other people are here. I mentioned the love of my life used to be a witch, right? So I'm familiar with the beliefs. I think it's all hoppycook. Personally, the people are entitled to their beliefs. Wiccan is paganism light because it was founded, I believe, in the 1850s by a horny old man who pretended to worship women to get young girls and fuck them.
Yeah, Wicca is a
fake religion that stupid people still follow.
Wicca is to witchcraft, in my opinion. Wicca is to witchcraft what
Mormonism is to.
No, the other guy, the fucking psycho that the aliens are coming back.
Branch Davidian?
No, the one that had killed his wife.
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate.
No. Scientology. Is to witchcraft.
Scientology.
Scientology is to Christianity.
The Scientology is a whole new thing. It's sci-fi.
I think atheists and people who don't believe in the divine are just as retarded as you think religious people are, sir. I think there's a lot of things we don't understand.
You're right. Wicca is to witchcraft.
I admit there's plenty of things we don't understand. I just don't insert the divine there. That's where the retardation comes in my opinion.
Well,
and this is one of the few areas where I see Casper has a lot of cope. Because it's actually Christianity that runs the world. Nietzsche was right. We have exactly what the Christians gave us. The America's corrupt, rotten to the core institution is inherently and the epitome of Christianity.
Well, it's not even that it's the epitome of Christianity. It's the epitome of men. Everything men touch will be corrupt, and I'm not saying that as even women, right? I'm saying human.
Well, with a Western Judeo-Christian flair, though.
No, it happens everywhere.
Yeah, I think they might have an argument. It happens
I think
everywhere. but-
individualism has taken over the West far worse than it has in other places.
Well,
It would look-
individualism is a problem, and you won't find me disagreeing with you there. But
Feminism is Christian, Casper.
atheist and agnostic, I would say that is a inherent individualist belief. But I also think that the extremism of collectivism that you see in China, I think that is also a problem.
It's fucked.
Crushes the human spirit.
Fucked, but you wouldn't call it a Christian fuckery, though, would you?
No.
Or the shit going on in the Muslim countries.
No. That's what that's
Right.
kind of my point. That's kind of my point that I'm making to y'all. Y'all are calling it Christian fuckery because it's the society
Here.
you grew up
Here
in
in
and
the
you're
West-
expected
in
to
the
be Christian.
US,
You're expected to be Christian. When in actuality, I'm saying it's the failing of man, because if we look at whatever system humans have, whether it be religious, scientific based, factually based, eventually humans will run that shit into the ground. It'll be a corrupt hellhole. It'll be a spoil system for those in charge. And that's why revolution and counter-revolution are necessary in human. I'm closer to the founding fathers than any of you fucks, and I'm a fascist. Let's go, fascism W.
I
Anyway,
would say all you do is talk, motherfucker. What
But
the fuck
this-
you talking about?
But this particular flavor is Christian to the bone. Like when we did this 6,000 years ago, it was an entirely different show.
I gotta see some phone calls or something, bro. All you do is talk.
I've been at
Casper,
war with my county.
Witchy has 5 kids.
Sweet. Witchy has 5
So
kids.
don't try to tell her or us or anybody else about her kind.
Well, the thing is, Witchy not only has 5 kids, but she may have been married or having multiple spouses in her life, but
she finished the contract.
I've
Oh,
never
well,
been
Her
to
first
Europe.
husband died, and so did her second husband.
Oh,
I've never
well,
been to
Until
Well,
death do us part.
Then why are you Then why are you Christians faulting her? This is why I put a distinction between you Christians and me Christian. That's fucked. If she's a fucking widow, the Bible says she could be remarried. The fuck?
I never made sure.
This is
anybody
why
else
I'm
doesn't
telling
have
Casper to
children.
check his cope and not tell her who she is.
Well, that's what they were trying to do, was back me into some kind of corner about who I am. But the thing is, I'm open about who I am and I like me. So there's no corner to back me in.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so what's up, Halted? Long time no see. Halted is actually, since we're talking religion, my buddy Halted is actually a Gnostic, like an old school Gnostic, not one of the dude, bro, what if God was really just the bad guy hippie Gnostics? And I like talking to him about that and a different Christian, different faiths, different this, that, and the third. I guess God imbued me with a natural curiosity and intelligence, and I just don't like showing it because it's been beaten out of me by the world. But I don't understand. Now, knowing what I know about Witchy has to be the single most traditionalist woman that I know, because she's got 5 fucking kids, which is one of the most children I know a woman having. She has been dutiful to her husband until death. She is a homemaker
Twice.
and a stay-at-home mom. She is literally what every Christian woman should
And
be
she
aspiring
homeschooled
to be
until
in
her
life.
kids asked to go to public school.
Yeah, they wanted more social, so I let them go back to public school for a while.
I would have.
And
to
she
know,
taught
Nikki.
Bible study, technically.
Nikki,
Yeah,
I
God,
would have
God
had to hear.
scares me to have a 260 IQ handsome chap. That's crazy.
I would have had to hear your definition of witch, Nikki, in order to, put up any
Real
arguments.
recognized,
Already
real.
think
It would have
that
been
they
fun,
are the.
Joe. It would have been
Al-
fun if he put up any argument. He didn't. He treated it like a joke.
It was literally just bashing somebody who's not a part of your club.
No, literally the debate was
He's more
with
Christian than atheist, Casper.
The only point that Emmett continued to make was that you have to go through Jesus, and the only way to do that is the way the priests tell you to. That's all he would say. He wouldn't argue at all that the way the priests tell you to are witchcraft. Because he said he couldn't interpret the Bible. That's up to the priest.
So the only argument
That's
he's
awesome.
left with is that you have to go through Jesus.
Yeah,
Yes,
that I'm
that's
not
the
a
difference
priest.
between witchcraft and Christianity,
No,
is that
he said
only the
witchcraft
priests
was
are allowed to
self-serving
do
also.
witchcraft.
And he said witchcraft was self-serving, but
Like,
Christianity wasn't. And I said, so you don't pray to God asking for things like, God, help my ailing grandma. Well, yeah, you do pray that. I'm like, I've been in the mass when the priest, and
of
we're all
course they do.
saying, Lord, hear our prayers, and we're sitting in mass, and the priest says, and prayers for Abuelita Adelia, who's having
Right.
surgery for her cancer next week.
That's right.
We
And if she's
petition-
cured, she will tell everyone that God answered her prayers, and the entire church
That's
will.
what I
I've
told
seen
him
that.
too.
I've
And he
seen
tried
that.
to tell me, no, we have to be humble. It was
So
his
he would have had to
will that
move it
she
to
be saved.
Orthodox. Maybe I don't know what Orthodox is, but I know regular Christianity from TV. So Orthodox, apparently, he would have to argue that they make no requests. That would have to be the only counter argument I
That's
see.
what he tried
didn't-
to say.
that
Then he
wasn't
said
the
they
only-
make requests, but God only answers them if it's his will. That they qualify their request if it's your will, God.
All right, I dig it.
Instead of it being my will. That doesn't change it from being witchcraft.
It would not.
Not only
and
that,
it's not really,
but he claimed
they're
he
not
wouldn't
being
be
honest.
happy if his prayers were answered.
No, he said he wouldn't be unhappy if they weren't, or happier if they were. He would be
That's
happy
awesome.
either way and
Correct.
Well, you may be happy either way, in the sense that I can be content because I believe in God that this was his doing. But if God gave you another 60 days, of course you'd be fucking happy or something.
I'm just
Well,
saying
the question was whether or not he'd be happy if God saved his grandmother.
So, yes, so he gave her entire life. Of course you'd be happier.
and he said he would be just as happy if God didn't save her life, because that would have
That's
been God's
just not
will.
being honest, y'all.
No, exactly. It was disingenuous the whole way through, and never argued the point that the dogma makes it a form of witchcraft.
Very good. That's where it would have had to go to, and they would have had to desperately try to avoid that, because they couldn't even have the dogma argument, which would means that they would dogpile you to avoid the argument. I didn't even have to be there, and it sounds like that's what logically would have happened.
And then afterwards, when she opened the panel, I was okay with this one guy he was being disingenuous in his questioning a bit, but he was doing it respectfully and actually like asking questions to before he assumed things about me. Whereas while he was questioning me, Emmett and Deaconess decided it was okay to sit there and have some private chat going on. You could see them reading, and they're laughing. They're muted, but they're laughing behind their hands, and their whole body's rocking back and forth from the laughter. And she came up challenging definitions of words I used.
That's the only point I saw that girl come up.
During the debate. Like,
she come up with fire. Yeah. She wanted to be in the debate, and she came up to act like she was in it. You know, like she had the opportunity. Right. Yeah.
And they had already technically won the debate by their terms. So why the fuck?
Casper, you're diving off into Emmett territory, buddy. Feel free to join the panel too, by the way.
Oh, they're doing it for Juneteenth. All right, I got to get outside, man, and see what's going on. It's Juneteenth.
Oh yeah, it's Juneteenth. And they kept he kept like referring to witches by fictional witches, like the idea that they ride on brooms and.
Right. That's why your definition would have been very important. That's how you could have killed all that in your intro. I would have had to hear that to know what's going on.
Well,
I enjoyed.
There is a biblical explanation for this, right? It's just very unproven. Right? So the Bible basically describes like the idea of sorcery is to be avoided, evil, blah blah blah, right? And what I
guess a priest does it.
Well, no, from what Wishy's argument is about the rituals, effectively speaking, right? Okay, so if the rituals are toward the Abrahamic God, it's not sorcery. But if the rituals are toward something other than the Abrahamic God, it's sorcery. That's the definitional argument, right? And the only way you could settle that dispute is whether God is real or not, right? But that's not what Christianity
You wouldn't
ever.
have to know if he's real or not. You just have to know
Wait,
if the witches have
Well,
an
no.
agreement that looks
Josh, it's even
similar to
better.
God.
Not from our
Josh, it's
perspective.
even
because-
better. I cede from the very beginning of the discussion that God is real. I believe in the one source myself.
Sure.
Sounds
sure.
like
Yes, and
Nikki's
even if
argument.
you don't, doesn't mean that you can't engage in the conversation and understand the concepts,
Yeah.
unlike what my friend Casper is claiming in the chat right now, because this is his blind spot. Christianity is his blind spot. Casper, no offense, but this is when you stop thinking and start spurging, like people accuse you of with other topics. This is where it becomes true. I advocate for less children in this world. Am I pure evil?
Before I answer that, ha ha ha. No. I just want to throw out that people need to stop calling me and things based on their own biases. Like they see that I disagree with them on one point, so I must be this other thing. I am not an atheist.
It ain't just you, baby. That's what these people are.
I'm not an atheist. I've never had an abortion. I've had 6 pregnancies. I've had 5 children and 1 horrible miscarriage. Devastated me. So I'm not a baby killer. I've never given anybody the herbs that I know of that are abortificants. The reason I'm aware of the ones on my property is so that God forbid one of my friends comes to visit and happens to be pregnant.
Okay.
I
Let me
can't
interrupt.
anymore. I could keep them away from it.
Because you're just talking to people who in chat and they not here anywhere, so I don't feel bad about interrupting. Nikki, would you tell me? Is there a difference between witchcraft and Christianity?
Oh, absolutely. Christianity is witchcraft. Witchcraft isn't Christianity. Witchcraft is an umbrella for practicing certain forms of rituals to try and get some sort of relief in physical things. Typically, you would pray to God.
Ritual.
He heals your knee that hurts. Well, witchcraft, I would appeal to the source that energy be devoted to my knee so that it feels better.
Right. I dig it. So the difference would be they have to define the source differently.
Okay.
They
so
have
the
to make it
difference between
rigid and
witchcraft-
exclusive.
Yes.
The difference between witchcraft and Christianity is Christianity is a very very narrow,
Rigid. Yeah, Dennis probably had a
rigid
word there. Yeah.
practice, whereas witchcraft encompasses all of those different rigid practices under an umbrella.
I understand.
They assumed I was Wiccan because he sent me about 5 different Wicca sources. So they assumed
That's
I
why
was
your
Wiccan
definition was so important.
because I said witchcraft, but witchcraft, and that was kind of the point I was proving, and I think I got it across to some of the people because I even heard a couple Christians telling Emmett to look into the hermit saints because not all saints are approved of by the church initially. They're just ordained later based on their works. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not all of the saints work through the church, and that's
He didn't do any research either because you alluded to these beliefs several times during the last few debates and the discussions afterward.
Right.
they
And
don't
the
pay any
girl-
attention to me. He didn't even listen to me during the debate. If we watch the debate again like we did the last one, OG, everyone will see during the debate while I'm speaking, he's not paying attention, and when he responds, he doesn't respond to what I've said. He responds with something he had
Yeah, I think it can.
in his mind
Speaking of
already.
that, can you drop a link to the, because I didn't watch it. I wish you fucking assholes, somebody would have told me about it. Can you drop the link to the debate?
It's our
What's
fault.
that, AVGs? Aren't you sub to
Yeah,
average
motherfucker.
female
Like,
debater?
my notifications don't work that great, you assholes.
I sent invitations to everyone that's on my friends list and in my Discord, and you've been invited to both many times, Josh.
I don't know what your Discord is, but then again, I keep my Discord off most of the time.
Well, you're not, Josh, aren't you sub to average female debater or Emmett?
No, not to Emmett's AVG. I don't know, right? But I am sub to yours, Witchy. I just
Well, the
don't.
link's
We're
on
waiting
mine.
for them to end their stream.
The link's on mine. We're just
I
waiting
think
for
so.
them to end their stream before we review it. But if we review it like we did the last time, you guys are going to see the whole thing was disingenuous. They assumed that based on their crowd that no matter what, nobody was going to buy into what I had to say.
Oh, like an argument of popular, or like just an argument for popularity?
And it came out pretty close to 50-50, just like every other debate I've had with these people in their arena.
I more appreciate the questions, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I guess Den just pulled up a Bible verse, right? To me, this screams up and down. If we were to, in today's modern day, look at something like that, I don't know how we could not conclude this is not sorcery, right? The only reason that we don't call it that is because it's in the Christian Bible and not in some, I'm going to say Wiccan for lack of, because Witchy's name is literally Witchy, right? Yeah.
It's not in the witch's grimoire, it's in the priest's grimoire.
Right. That's kind of the weird thing about it, right? That's why I'm actually very curious about the argument. And to be fair to everybody else, I'm the atheist up here. Like, I'm the only one that I'm aware of.
Did we lose people? Did Joe get bored, or he just couldn't hear people again because OG keeps dropping in and out?
I don't know. I know Joe.
I wanted to bring up, when we got to the after panel, I was hoping to get a chance to bring up in the thumbnail. AVG kind of dressed us both up, and she put me in the fictional pointy witch's hat with a wand, which, I mean, Moses had a scepter, but she put Emmett holding a Bible, which is a grimoire, and rosary, which is worry beads, which is
can you guys
another
hear?
form of repetitive
Sure.
chant magic. And
so yeah, can you guys hear me? I had a power outage and it fucked up all my electronics. I had to pull everything out.
We can hear you.
Okay.
You know how to fix those electric bills, right? You just take an extension cord over to the neighbor's house, right, and plug it in.
No, it wasn't it's my whole fucking town, because they're building a data center and they're fucking doing stupid shit to the power. They're not upgrading the power lines, and they're doing it at night and after the fucking city hall is closed, so you can't call city hall. Like, they're doing it after 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're up to some funky shit. And what's funny, ironically enough, I was literally about to tell Joe Cool that I was about to tell Joe Cool when he said you don't do anything. I'm like, I am in the process of starting a protest against my local power company, because it's government ran where I get my power, because they're doing fucking weird shit that's like every fucking day for the past month. It's now been a power outage between 5 and 7 and between 10 and 2 in the morning. That can last from anywhere from a few seconds to 2 or 3 hours. And they're all building these data centers in the corrupt South or corrupt Republican states because they know they can get away with doing people that way. Not here, not now. What's up, Aheems, is that you?
It is. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I missed the debate, but I saw the last debate where she was arguing like Narcan, and it really made me think. She tends to argue from a place of logic, and when you get in these debate bro spaces, that's not really what it's about. It's more like blood sport. They're not looking for honest, like, intellectual debates, in my experience.
Which is, Dan keeps asking me why I debate these people, and this is exactly why, because that's, to me, like, and I said this earlier too, I feel a victory every time I get into these debates, and I don't slip into their blood sport, and I don't play it by their rules.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with blood sports if that's the intention of the debate, but they're framing it as if they want to have a wholesome Christian debate and be kind with each other, and then they just want to mock you as if you've done something wrong because you're not a part of their club. And that's what pisses me
I
off.
think
Because it makes Christians look
I think
bad.
debate as blood sport is the very essence of bundles of sticks, because real blood sport means you get in the ring like Joe Rogan and you punch somebody in the face. That's blood sport. Otherwise, you're just being a coward and a bully, and you're doing a disservice to the art of conversation. That's just my opinion.
It's not debate, it's grandstanding and mudslinging. And I go in when they ask to debate, and I debate. And to be fair, all of these debates I've been challenged to. I AVG and OG were supposed to debate eugenics. I know I shouldn't bring that up. It's a sore spot. However, I had wanted to debate AVG on eugenics because she had asked me, "Oh, you want to do debates?" I said that would be fun when I first met her, and she's like, "Well, what would you like to debate?" And this was before you two were supposed to debate it. I said eugenics, and then 2 weeks later, I hear you guys are debating eugenics. So I approached her and said, "Well, I'll debate you on something else then." And she said, okay. And then she came back at me and said, well, OG's not going to do eugenics, and you wanted to first anyway, so let's do eugenics. And I said, okay. Then I debated Glacier because AVG challenged me to debate Glacier at Emmett's, an impromptu debate. Then when I debated AVG on Narcan, we had agreed to debate again, and she picked the Narcan topic because she knew how I felt about it and how she felt about it. And then Emmett challenged me to any topic. He says, I'll debate you anytime, any topic. And so I went on his panel and I said, well, you want to debate me? Let's do Christianity is Witchcraft. And he immediately said yes, which I didn't expect.
You you put belt to ass this debate. Emmett is my homie, but you put belt to ass this debate. You won. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I stand 10 toes down on it. And it's purely because Emmett was arguing on behalf of Christianity as if orthodoxy and its authority is the only one. You know what I'm saying? It's the only Christian authority when there's thousands.
Even if it is,
What was his?
even if it is, they
what was his
practice
response?
witchcraft.
Yeah, I was just going to say it still
I don't know
doesn't
if I
work
could find
because
that.
Orthodox Christianity is witchcraft.
I don't
Yeah, what-
agree with that, but I missed the debate, so I can't argue it. You know, I don't care to
Yeah.
debate it, but I would say that she moved my opinion on the Narcan one, and I was impressed by that because my opinions aren't easily swayed, and so I was impressed with that. She uses logic.
What was Emmett's response?
I feel like the Narcon debate was a draw. And my only question because like my thing is if you're an addict, face the wall, right? Addict and dealers face the wall, right? I don't care if they have access to Narcan or not. And there's some some deeply personal reasons why I think Denny knows why, but like I have no sympathy for addicts, none whatsoever. I have no sympathy for dealers. In fact, while I hate addicts, I hate dealers more than I hate addicts because they're the ones that peddle the poison that we all have to deal with. There's no such thing as a victimless crime. Everything you do affects society in some way and affects those around you. And like me personally, both these classes of people can face the wall. So I think Narcan is something that should literally only be allowed to be given to somebody legally is if they're not an addict. If they're an addict, they should be forced to overdose.
I do want to throw out, to be fair, that all of the debates I've had, barring the one at Emmett's, have been negligible differences. 2 to 3 percentage points difference in a very small group under 40 voters or under 40. The exception was Emmett because
I don't
Emmett
know.
was
Is it
like
me?
80-20, but that makes sense over there.
I mean,
Well,
I don't necessarily.
What happened to Li Feng?
I didn't agree with what
I don't
your
know.
assessment was with Narcan even, but you bring up valid points that are shades of gray that other people aren't willing to discuss, such as someone who continues to have an overdose and obviously has a death wish. How many times do you revive them? That is a very valid and fair question when everyone pays taxes to be reviving them. And
Well,
so
when Emmett pointed out orthodoxy or Protestantism is very nearly witchcraft, that let me know that none of these people that are proclaiming orthodox online, even my homies, understand the history of Protestantism and or orthodoxy. Protestants when the
true.
Protestant Reformation happened, Protestants literally were trying to get back into communion with the Orthodox churches. Protestants came about as a rejection of Catholicism and the corruption in Catholicism.
And
And
yet,
some could even
most of
say
the
the same
Protestant
about
church,
Orthodoxy, though. You know, I mean, they also rebelled against, supposedly from a Roman Catholic perspective, they rebelled against the Pope, you know, the supreme leader or whatever.
Well, they want, and I'll give you that, because Emmett and all the ortho bros over on Pages wanted to talk about authority and numbers. Well, the Catholic Church has always been the biggest Christian sect.
And it
So-
relies supremely on authority from a Roman model of top tier down pyramid system. And so
Well,
for
not
them
only-
to
not
now
only that-
adopt it and roll it with an appeal to authority, when that is not historically how they supposedly rolled with the Roman church, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
well, the biggest thing, I think, the biggest thing that made me upset about that point is that they asked me after the debate, and I tried to answer where I'm coming from with my understanding of faith and religions. I've studied religions. I've made a lifetime of studying religions. Like, this is probably my biggest fetish in the whole world, is studying religions. My dad sparked it in me by making me attend every type of religious faith in our small community that I could, and there were quite a few, and devoting myself to them for a minimum of 6 weeks each. And he incentivized it with money, and I did it. And through that, I went to a lifetime of studying religious and faith
Well-
and spirituality. And they tried to ask me about that, and when I mentioned it, immediately they're like jumping on the fact that I didn't stick to one, and who am I to say what's the same in them all? Well, they don't even know their own religion. Only a priest can interpret it for them. So they don't even
I
know
can
their own
confirm.
religion.
Nikki knows her
How can they
shit.
tell me I don't know any of them?
Nikki did a live stream about Satanism back in the day, and her knowledge about religions in general, not just one religion, religions in general, it's extensive. There's not many people that can go toe to toe in that conversation with me, and Nikki can.
Studying religion is one of the most single importance aspect of humanity, because religion is literally one of the most important dynamics in the human structure, right? Because if you study different religions from different parts of the world and different cultures, you'll see how those cultures adapted the religion and how the religion adapted those cultures. Like, if you
As
look
well
at
as the overlapping factor, they overlap a lot too. I mean,
Yeah,
Noah
well, if you-
isn't the only flood story.
Well, if you take a really scientific and engineering based society like, say, Rome or China, right, and you study their religions and the histories of the religions that have been propagated and supported throughout their lands, you will see how those religions kind of adapt to the culture, versus looking at more of an artistic culture like Middle Eastern cultures, because they like Middle Eastern cultures and peoples are more artistically minded, more warrior focused, and you can see how those religions that have existed in those lands have refined and been adapted, and how the culture reflects the religion and the religion reflects the culture, and it's all very interesting, and it lets you have an insight of the human condition.
So Ahimsa, you said they all overlap a lot, and when they ask me where I get my perspective, is that I look for those modes where they overlap, where a lot of them overlap, the modes in the data. I use a statistical
They do.
analysis,
Yeah,
very
I've
logical.
studied a lot of the world's religions too. Yeah, I mean,
And
there's
I
a
look
lot
for
of
those
overlap.
modes, and I say, well, that's probably God's word, because it got through all of it, and the rest is just human hubris.
Honestly, that's how you could tell somebody that's done extensive religious history of all backgrounds, is you find that all of this shit is the same two stories from one side of the perspective or another.
Well,
Yeah.
if you
It's
look
just different
at
cultures and
America,
different histories.
Like Sarah and Abraham are part of like Hinduism, with Brahma being their supreme creator god, and then Sarah was his wife. Like Sarah.
The whole
story or something
Sumerian
like
clay
that.
tablets is just a version of the
Yep.
King's List and the history of it.
A lot
Well,
of it. They overlap.
if you actually know history and cult and human movement, human migration, and you don't even have to go far back, right? Look at America. Look at how our religion, look at American Christianity, right? American Protestantism. You can see the unique tenets of American Protestantism, and you can see the influence of the Chinese immigration with the Confucianist influence, the Golden Rule principle, right? You can see the influence of Buddhism with the treat others how you want to be treated. You can see Taoist influence. You can then see Muslim influence. You can then see Orthodox influence. You can see all of these influences of different people coming in and assimilating to our country, because America was founded as a Christian nation. We can deny that all we want. We can have that debate, but it was founded by Protestants. And you can see how these different cultures.
Not all of them. You could take Benjamin Franklin, for example. Benjamin Franklin was not religious.
He was, yes, he was. He was a theist.
Not
Speaking of
really.
speaking of religious people and their feelings, check this out. This is from Lee Fang. I forgot. I'm gonna have to change the description. What's up, Batty B? This was from Lee Fang. I think it was awesome, and then we're gonna go through the seething comments, because none of these people who are commenting on this are my subscribers, nor have they ever sent me a dime to support me. So their opinion is irrelevant, and they are not happy about it. But I think it's funny. See, my Jesus can take a joke.
Now,
This is my booty. This is my blood. This is my booty, 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 booty. Slap me on the right cheek. Oh, slap me on the left cheek. Oh, you will deny me 3 times, and you will betray me.
How could you be mad at that as a Christian? He literally thwops fucking Judas in the face with a fucking bottle, dog. Like, but they are.
my thing is, hold on, we're gonna go back to Benjamin Franklin. Yes, he studied theology, but in so many words, he said that religion was a joke.
Give me a second. I don't want to do that right now. I want to go over this. He would be mad at you. Blasphemy. It hurt me so bad. Just why? I hate it. I hate you for doing this. He is the Father. That does not mean you make it into a dumb short video. Like, I don't get how these fucking people, like, these, like, I'm just replying womp womp. It's just like, I don't get these fucking people. They are very upset with me about this. And I've never seen any of these people in chat. All right, go. We can now talk about. We can now talk about. How though? I don't get it.
I don't know, because Jesus didn't slap Judas.
But it's funny to me.
I know. I'm just saying they probably see it as sacrilegious.
You also created a false image of God, and you had to do your work using God's image, which is pretty much the entire meaning of that, you know, no idolatry, no idol worship deal.
Oh. Yeah, that too.
I guess.
Hey, so I'll see you in hell. We can play Texas Hold'em. And good news, David Bowie's going to be there.
I would like to think, you know, that rule was written by the Most High for people that make idols to take worship away from him. Stuff like that, this memes and
it's literally
jokes,
the Christian religion that does that.
I don't, in certain cases, in certain
crosses are the
I'd have to agree.
most. Yeah, crosses are literally idolatry.
But what I'm saying is, little memes like that and stuff, I don't think the Most High is going to be up there judging people for that more than what they think about him himself.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because I'm not making fun of Jesus, right? I'm literally, I think it's the funniest thing ever, because he's just doing a fucking dance number and I like dance numbers. I think dancing and fucking singing is cool.
I look at it like this. It might not be somebody that's young enough that don't know anything about the character of Jesus yet. And it might not be religion in their home, but they might see that meme and get to asking questions. Now they know about Jesus. Now they're on the search to find the real story behind him. So I don't think the Most High really gives too much of a damn about things like that as much as your intent with things like that.
No, it even
And
says in the
now I think
Bible.
you're the most high.
I mean, we can try to be out high each other. I mean, I'm just saying.
I ain't hired and no one here, bro. I'm a servant to all you fuckers, even the ones I don't like.
When you're put here to serve, what choice do
I'm
you
just
have
saying,
to serve? Exile.
you're a skinny white boy with a high metabolism. Get that
Yep,
wacky tobacco in your system.
yep, that too.
But no,
I'm the most high.
We can discuss Benjamin Franklin now if you would like to. Exile. I was just trying to get that.
No. I just made my statement. Yeah, he was student in theology, bro. But I mean, he didn't believe in the religions. He made so many statements about it.
How many? Because didn't he edit the Bible to his own belief system?
Okay,
What man wouldn't use a tool at their disposal if they don't believe in the tool, but they know the tool works?
let's agree that
Well, no. He never
the
published it to try to create a
majority-
religion.
Let's just agree that the vast majority of the founding fathers were some form of carried some form of Christian faith.
What's up,
with them.
Grid?
Yeah, most of them for sure.
They were
Most of them.
Masons
It's just
too.
he made the statement that all of them.
Right, but it's close enough.
It
A
was
lot of
very
them were
much
Masons.
Well,
influenced by.
it's you're both confusing Franklin with Jefferson, by the way. Jefferson was a deist. And one could argue that's more pertinent because he's the one who was the major author of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution as we know it. So, and it's written with deism. And a lot of the reins are pulled back on Christianity in both of those founding documents.
Boom, he just busted us both out, OG. My excuse is I'm high. What's your excuse?
That I'm a propagandist and I exercise my will because I'm evil like all men. And I want my
Alright.
country to be ran a certain way.
Recovered.
Grid.
We both got an excuse.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
What's up,
What's
Grid?
up, Grid?
Brother, man. Did you watch the debate? I think Paige did a really good thing with the debate
No.
until the open panel where they all just try to jump.
Nah, I don't really give a shit about people who basically agree debating each other.
Yeah.
Basically, because he thinks all other forms of Christianity are witchcraft. Is that why you say that?
I mean, no, because I admire the exercise in debating, but if you're on the same side and you believe the same things, it's very difficult for me to believe that you're putting a lot of effort into actually debating each other on something.
It's the argument we gave Casper, which is like
I
one of
agree with him.
The debate grid, the debate is I admit we believe the same things and he doesn't. That was the debate, trying to convince him that we actually do believe the same things and he doesn't want to hear that. I'm some opposite of him.
I mean,
Well, that's kind of true though, because he has a very rigid church-based belief, and he doesn't know much about the Bible at all. He doesn't know anything about the rituals or the witchcraft that's in the Bible. When you talked about the dozens of curses, he had a pure look of incredulity on his face. He doesn't seem to actually read the Bible that much, and that seems to be kind of common with these people. I don't know if it's because they're only allowed to get it from their priest and not allowed to read it for themselves.
I don't know. I just I've been putting a lot, because I've taken some time kind of away. I've just kind of been watching and not participating as much, and definitely not doing my show as much. Although I did just do a short stream. I'm on the internet to destroy the worldviews of leftist and evil people. I don't give a shit about fighting other people on the right that only disagree with me on a few small points. I have no interest, and I'm shocked. The more I look at it, I'm shocked that at the number of people who would rather have have a debate or a disagreement with somebody that is their friend, and they agree on 90% of things, and they just want to disagree, they just want to discuss or argue or debate or whatever over that 10%, rather than go out and destroy the true enemy of society, the leftist, the communist, the socialist fucker.
Grid, they want to paint me as a liberal. They've called me a baby killer. They've called me I've been called a leftist. I've been called non-traditional.
They're refined.
I'm more traditional than
So you
any
can
of
see
these
how
people.
leftist has taken over, though.
I get it.
I mean,
you know, somebody
Nikki,
told me I was wrong once, and that really pissed me off. And then I grew a set of balls and didn't give a fuck anymore.
yeah,
So-
Nikki, you got to get over it. I mean, you know, years ago, I called you a baby killer because of your ideals on abortion, and we never, you know, came to the same conclusion or
But he's
a
asking
compromise
why I
on
would
that other than
debate
walking
them.
away from it.
He's asking why I would debate them is because I want them to open to their mind to the fact that we're on the same side, even though we don't agree on everything 100%, Grid. I'm trying to get them to open their mind to the fact that not everybody on their side is always going to follow the exact same line that them, so that it's worth having these discussions. How do we convince those leftist crazy liberals on the far left side that they've gone too far if we can't even agree amongst ourselves?
I want to crush their worldview and see them tremble in fear at the lack of discipline.
Well, that's your masculinity, and
I just
Grid, what is best in life?
I kill it.
What
We'll
is
work
best in
together
life?
and get somewhere.
to crush their souls underneath my boot heel and hear the lamentations of their women.
I was about
Yes.
to say that before Dennison said anything. I just want to plow leftist chicks and corrupt them. That's all I'm saying. Like you plow a leftist chick and whisper fascism in their ear, and they're just like, you know what, Daddy, you're right. I'm like, yes, yes.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and they hear the lamentations of their women.
Get to the chopper.
I'm sorry.
That's funny.
I didn't wake up and choose violence. I pretty much been stacking it all day.
What have you been doing today?
Stacking it, lol.
I haven't seen
He's
you.
been taking hate mushrooms like Mario, like.
Throwing
I'm at
fireballs.
GunCon. I'm at GunCon. I spent my day shooting full auto weapons.
Oh, good. Anger and guns.
Right. Yeah.
America.
Just add some powder.
That's true. Actually, you know what? Religion was not what America was founded on. It was anger, money, and guns, and the occasional bitches.
Are they still live over there?
So you guys think everybody
Yes.
thinks that the Revolutionary War was fought because of taxes and or King George's law? It was actually fought over gun
Nah.
control. Do you know what actually kicked it off? Was they passed a law that said that
Boston Massacre.
the gunpowder and all gunpowder and shot had to be stored in a central depository in town, and only the British Army had the keys to it, and they basically issued you your powder and shot to go hunt or whatever, and that annoyed the Americans so much that they're like, no, fuck that, dude. We get our guns, bro. That's what's up. This country was founded on three things: meat, guns, and war, and we haven't changed.
God, I love this country so much.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's how countries throughout the history of humanity have been formed. Civilization is based. I mean, I would throw in probably intoxicants in the mix, but yes, I agree.
I just, it's just interesting. I was thinking about it, and I was talking to someone yesterday, and I spent like 4 hours in a discussion as I was driving, and it started to really annoy me how people that are friends or should be friends or are on the same side. My personal feeling is that there's a bunch of people who are just too big a pussy to actually go and face a real leftist, to go and tell a socialist that they're fucking wrong and they're stupid and stop that shit. And so what they want to do instead is they want to go out.
Really?
And they want, huh?
Really? That's what you find? I hear that 20 times a day.
Yeah, but you're Denison.
They all tell me all that stuff, and they believe I'm a leftist. I mean, they think they are facing a leftist when they come at me.
You're not a leftist. I mean, you're weird, but you're not a leftist.
They just don't know me, and they don't want to take the time to. They assume I'm a leftist, and they want to come at me.
I mean, but I'm gonna pick on Marte, right? So Marte is like Marte.
Oh wow!
After other Christians because they're not Christian enough for him. Like,
Oh
how
my.
fucking stupid is that?
Very, very stupid. Very, very stupid.
He's a gay porn star. He doesn't get to set that bar.
I
And I always
don't
I
care.
thought you were
long for the
crazy
day when
Amish
we
woman,
stop
Nikki.
taking Marte seriously.
Denison,
I don't take him seriously.
I honestly wouldn't care if he sucked dick yesterday. If he came over and said, "Hey, you know what? I repent. I understand what I did was wrong, and I'm cool now." Okay, fine.
I am no longer the gays. I no longer like the men's.
Wait.
I'm
Let me get this straight.
because I had
Let me get this straight. You're
Mhm.
comparing me debating Emmett to Marte debating Emmett.
I'm comparing all of the recent debates I've seen to each other and saying that
Have you watched any of my debates?
who among you have gone into the DGG, the black pit of soulless socialist fuckery, and said, "I want a piece of you"?
I can. I get too aroused when I see crazy bitches. And I'm just
But have you seen any of my debates at all? Have you seen any of my debates at all?
I honestly don't watch a whole ton of content anyway, but I'm
Okay.
saying this is what I'm seeing in the community as a whole. I'm not picking on you.
I'm not part of that community, so it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
that
hot
you-
leftist chicks make me want to go to work to pay for their welfare.
That's
Not
what
gonna
I'm
lie.
saying. I'm like, come here and let me tell you how you're stupid and wrong.
Plus, grid. You know they've never been properly fucked, right? So once you fuck them like a real Republican,
You know something, Dennis? I'm going to give you that. That's true. That's true.
you fuck them like a real Republican, and you show them how to use a weapon, and it's all over after that.
Have you ever
They-
noticed
They'll
that?
still wear the beret and hold their placards, but their soul will be yours.
You know, there's something to that. There's something to that. There is something about, like I've noticed this when I was a younger man. If you take a girl shooting, even if she's like, "Oh, I hate guns," you take her shooting, and the next thing you know, like it's ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I have noticed that. That is,
Yep.
I don't know why that is.
And then the smell of gunpowder becomes an aphrodisiac, and that's when you're in heaven.
well, I don't know about all that, but I mean,
he ain't wrong, brother, man. He ain't wrong.
but
That
I mean,
is weird.
Hims is like, what?
Hey,
what-
baby, you don't even know the half of it.
I was raised on guns, so no, it's not an.
Yeah, it's not the
aphrodisiac,
same.
but
It's not the
weird.
same though. For you, it's not naughty and forbidden.
That's
Ah,
probably true.
fair.
Yeah, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, that
So
makes
I
sense.
had a big creator who was lined up to do my debate show in Dallas, right? GridCon 2 debaters do Dallas. We
Hold on, wait! I just that name.
what? See that coming? Really?
Neither did she apparently.
It just rolls off the tongue.
It's in the not debaters do Dallas, bro.
Tomato. Like a corn movie.
Oh man.
I've done nothing since I've been here. I've done nothing but make
I
OG
dropped.
giggle. I've done nothing but make OG giggle since I got here.
Oh,
So I have this debater. You're going to appreciate this. And I get this person locked in to debate a real live DGG leftist on feminism. And I think this is a It's going to be a great debate. I think everything is wonderful. It's a good matchup. Everything, to me, everything is like flowing, man. Like this is Zen. I got some Zen shit going on here, and not the ZYN. I mean the cool Zen, ZEN, and
right.
and so the I'm flowing. Everything's good, and then I locked in another huge debate today. We'll announce Friday. Locked it in. Oh, so good. And my spidey sense started tingling, and I'm like, I need to check on this other debate because you'll understand when I announce what if I open it. But my spidey sense started tingling, so I call up the go-between, and I'm like, hey, could you do me a favor and just make sure that we're locked in, that we're cool. Because we're going to, this week is like we've got the topics lined out. We're going to start the meetings on, what, because we're going to make sure that everybody's on the same page as the debate. I don't want to spend an hour on definitions and shit like that. So dude calls me back and he's like, hey, yeah, I just talked to them and they say that they thought about it and they don't even really know who the person from the DGG, and I'll just say the DGGer is a fairly well-known, I mean, not like super well-known, but fairly well-known DGGer that's been around for a while, and enough people hate that person that it's worth having them on the show. And so I'm like, so anyway, so this other creator who's larger says, well, they don't know who this person is, and they agreed to it, but now they're backing out, and they want these two, they have two alternates, and both of those creators are fucking superstars that I have no access to. Like, I've never talked to these people. I don't know them. I don't have friends that know. I mean, I know people that know them, but I don't have, I don't got any pull there. And I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? This last minute bullshit. And then I start, because I'm a problem solver. So I start thinking about how I can get to these people and how to convince them to be part of the show and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what? If I actually get these people, I'm kicking the one that's trying to blackmail my ass to make this happen. I'm borderline like, fuck that. You're out. And I'll have this person that you had me bring in debate somebody else, and you can sit on the sideline and watch. This is my fucking event. I'm getting you. People don't tell me what to fucking. First of all, I have a problem with that. Anyway, it's my fucking event, and it's gonna be badass. And you guys just don't have any idea what you're in for yet, but you're gonna love it. It's gonna be fucking killer. And I just can't believe how well it's come together. I actually so somebody else that I've got. And I've got a bunch of people from DGG. I don't know why everybody has a problem getting leftists. I seem to attract leftists. I think I piss them off in just the right way. And so one of the leftists that I had said, hey, Destiny's going to be in town, and they think he's coming in Friday, and he might want to do your event, if there's something in it for him. And I said, well, I mean, I'll set up a debate. So then of course, I'm thinking, you're going to appreciate this, OG. Who would I get to debate Destiny? Who would that be?
I'm very curious.
How about Enrique Tarrio,
Oh,
the
hell
leader
yeah.
of the Proud Boys,
That would
to
be
debate
good.
Destiny on Jan 6?
Oh my
Oh,
Oh, no.
epic. That would be really
Yeah.
I'd be better at arguing that.
From Destiny or Enrique's point?
I just heard OG.
I'd be better at arguing against Destiny. I know his January 6 arguments in and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just came like a leftist girl. I
Tarrio.
just came like a leftist girl sleeping with a fascist dog. I gotta go change my pants. I'll be back.
So weird.
He's still giggling.
Oh no, that's gonna. I don't care. See, so Danny, I don't care who could do it better. It's the matchup for it, like, right? Because like he get like
Yeah, that's a
the
good
leader of the
match.
Proud Boy catches a lot of shit for being
Yep.
one of the people to organize that stuff. And Destiny is one of the little bitches. They're like, they should have been tortured because I'm actually an evil leftist weasel. Bro, I swear, shut the fuck up before I fuck your girlfriend. All right, calm down.
That's boring to me, though.
But Tario and his all the Proud Boys and Tario and everybody else was just absolved of any wrongdoing by the Senate subcommittee.
The
Last week.
the only reason that I don't like Tario is there is questions about him being an informant for the feds.
He's cleared that up a few times, though.
I haven't seen it for myself.
I don't have a problem with Enrique.
He's all about how it was a riot and an insurrection. And I would lean into that and show him how that is inherently democratic and leftist.
I'd be like,
And
bitch,
that the only thing that was wrong with January 6th was that they left and went home.
That's valid.
the biggest problem with Jan 6 they didn't
And
bring
that
up.
would make a way better conversation, in my opinion.
you're gonna go
Especially
that far and
because
take it all
I
the
can
way.
make Destiny angry. If Enrique makes Destiny angry, I'll throw a point toward him. I don't think he can do it as easily as I can.
Well, Tario's pretty good. Him and Destiny, so I was on a panel with Destiny, that dumbass Dev, Kung Fu Joe, I forget the other guy's name, Tim Hale, criminally funny J6er, Enrique Tario, and me, and on Jan 6. And so Tario took Destiny to task, and he really had him like nailed down. And then Tario had to go, and then Destiny was able to like spin back into his rhetoric. But so I may have to bump one of my existing debate groupings to get if Destiny will do it. Like, I can't resist it. That's like candy.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
So
that
I
would be
have
worth something.
I have 6 as of right now. I have 6 ridiculously good, crazy debates. David, I'm driving through Kentucky again tomorrow evening, late. So
I say fuck if they're
When is
still
the
alive.
Again, when is the BakeCon thing again?
it's
Dallas?
July my event is July 24th. The BakeCon is 25th and 26th.
Okay. In Dallas.
In Dallas. Tickets are going to be tickets go on sale Friday for my event. It's going to be like $10, $5 or $10, whatever it takes to keep Eventbrite happy. Eventbrite, I had the ticket set at $0 last time, and Eventbrite like fucked up a bunch of them and didn't know. I didn't have an accurate count of how many people were going to be there, which ended up not mattering, but it was annoying as fuck. So right now I have the debates that I can talk about. I have Wicked Wally versus Bones of Doom. And they're basically the same guy, right? Like you've got Wicked Wally is Orthodox Christian, metalhead, computer geek. Bones of Doom is atheist, metalhead, computer geek. It's like it's the same dude, just so that's gonna be a cool one. And then I have this guy named Vince, who's apparently a very big TikToker, or not TikToker, maybe TikTok and Twitch debater, who I guess he's trying to do YouTube too, and he wants in on the live stuff. Apparently he's got a huge following or some shit, I don't know. And we're gonna put him against either Tyler, average debate enjoyer, or a politician from Texas.
Ooh. Which politician?
Disgraced representative former Southern Baptist minister Brian Slayton.
Okay.
Oh, gee, you're going to
Look him
appreciate
up.
this. This dude married a Miss USA contestant in a Chadley move, kicked her ass to the curb, married like some Vietnamese chick. I mean, that's hilarious. Miss USA, chicks tend to be hot, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, but the hotter they are, the less adventurous they are. So homie probably made the right choice.
He's probably like, yeah, you're not gonna look this good in 10 years. Let me go for something a little different. And
Trading in for a newer model.
Traded in for a newer model. And then there was some other stuff that he did. But so he's the only person that has ever been unanimously voted on to be removed from the Texas state representative.
Oh, Grid. By the way, somebody finally paid for the face reveal. Your boy is ugly as fuck. That is me. Somebody paid for the face reveal. I made like $300 off of it. It was kind of based. Snafu was talking shit, calling me ugly and fat, and I'm like, I'm fat and I am ugly, but I'm prettier than you, and this is a really gay argument. So here you go. Somebody paid for the money, and he got a little ass mad.
You look like any of the guys at 7-Eleven that sell cigarettes at 3 a.m. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yes, it's that Neanderthal chrome dome. That Neanderthal head, bro. It's 100%.
I don't know why. I don't know if that's ugly. It's just a type,
Well, I just thought it would be funny, and I didn't show it off this stream, and I remembered and you hadn't been around, so I'm like,
I hadn't been around a lot. I've also got Jake Varr, and he's going to be debating LSP.
Okay.
Who the hell is LSP?
He is a leftist, and he's a member of DGG, and he's a lefty. Like he's like, it's like the leftist something part, like restructuring or some shit. I forget what it stands for, but he's a good. He's a hard leftist to debate because he's actually really smart and he's really good at it. So that's going to be a great debate. But some of these guys may get booted because I have like some super heavy hitters coming in that I can't talk about yet, but will be revealed on Friday.
Based.
Yeah, I mean like big time, like crazy.
You're not going to boot Wally, though, are you?
Baby, I will boot anybody that's necessary if I have a 2 million sub debater on my fucking, like if Destiny walks in, Destiny, I'm going to put Destiny on. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But if I do that, I have what'll end up happening is that I actually have the way that the show is going to be structured is we're going to have one stream that is the main debate area. So you can actually watch the debate with no distractions on your screen, and people can watch it live, obviously. Then I have two or three rooms that we can use. One of them is big enough to have like some kind of like a round table debate discussion, and we may have that going on. And there will be a camera in that room, and that will be a different stream. And then I have another smaller room that we're going to use for the third stream will be the color commentary and the interviews of the debaters as they go up to debate and as they come down from the debate. So I've got Glenn Lawrence, Gia McCool, who's a fitness model. I've got two different smoking hot degenerate women provided by Admiral Gibbs.
Good.
So
this is good. So I'm sorry. I was gonna say something else. I was letting I trust Gibbs' judgment.
Gibbs sends me the pictures and says, "Don't open this with your wife around. these women are in lingerie. And I'm like, Gibbs, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Good. Good.
So,
I trust Gibbs' judgment.
You trust
Gibbs.
You trust him to be a good DJ, right?
Yeah. Gibbs. Yeah, I just feel like Gibbs is the man there. You know.
You feel like he's the guy. Yeah.
He's him.
He's the guy to trust on that one. He's the man for the job. So they're going to be doing the color commentary, and they're going to be doing the. They're going to Jake Barr will come out and they'll be like, "Hey, Jake, how you doing? How you feeling about this debate? What's your strategy? Where are you going to go with this? All that kind of stuff." And then when he comes back down, it'll be like, "Oh yeah, Jake, looked like he did really good at just like it's UFC." So look, it works for UFC. It's going to work for me. That's how we're doing it. That's what's up. Gibbs is the final boss of the DJ.
Trick question. Did you get Easy to come down too?
So, funnily enough, so here's the thing.
He's just been on her troll arc, bro. She has embraced Satan, all right?
I'm going to be honest with you. If Easy, if Easy wants a good debate, I mean, I probably got somebody.
Yeah, a debate. I'll debate Easy. I promise I'll get like one word in and then just jump over the fucking podium and start.
No, that's
we're debating the Greek way, motherfucker. Here we go.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's this event. If you watched Nashville back in November, the event I did there, that was like the test run, and I figured some things out and really got there. Will the debaters have walk-on songs? Absolutely. Why would we not have walk-on songs?
Let's fucking go.
Mine is "It's a Pirate's Life."
Yo ho. Oh man, this shit is gonna be lit, Grid.
That'll be cool.
You sound surprised. I'm insulted. I'm insulted a little bit. I mean, you sound surprised.
I know you just outdo yourself every fucking year. It seems like.
Yeah. I mean, you never do the same gag twice. You do the next gag. Right? So, but yeah, we'll do. If they have walkout songs like, I don't know, Another One Bites the Dust, or We Will Rock You, or whatever. I Did It All for the Nookie. That's a good one.
I did it all for the Nookie.
That is a good one.
Did It All for the Nookie is a great walk-on song.
Shit. Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger is wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Oh.
I still need.
I only heard the Nookie song because of y'all, and I want to thank the internet for that.
The what
What's
song?
that?
I did it all for the Nookie. I've only heard that because of you guys over here on the internet, and I just want you guys to know that I'm incredibly thankful.
Yeah.
I saw them in
Apparently, I
concert
still need a
before.
golden chariot pulled by e-girls.
That's what I'm saying.
Ahimsa picks the e-girls. If Ahimsa picks the e-girls,
you gotta let Gibbs pick the e-girls, man.
No, I trust Ahimsa. I trust Ahimsa.
Oh dear.
Ahimsa's not going to give me any like DJ and slut girls.
Yeah, but that's like the
know
best
any.
to pull your chariot. The sluttiness lubricates the wheels and the axles. It's like a snail trail of vengeance and speed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seriously, it's going to be a great event. It's going to be really good. So, and I mean, I can't even tell. I mean, like the heavy hitters are heavy hitters. Like I'm not making that up. So it's going to be like, it's really good.
I would like to hear the Enrique and Destiny one. That would be good. Yeah.
Oh, Destiny and Enrique. If I can swing Destiny and Enrique Tario live.
Wow.
I want that so bad. I want it.
I'm
so
gonna come
bad.
again. Calm down.
Because it would be live and there could be no muting. There can, like.
Can we start doing parlays? Be like, who's gonna jump the podium first?
No, there's no violence. No violence.
Oh,
only hurt, really like hurt feelings. Like we're destroying worldviews, not upper jaw.
there's gonna be 1 year where it's just gonna have to be so explosive that everyone's gonna have to sign a fighting waiver just in case.
Well, I am because they are who they are, and some of these guys will break TOS. I'm literally going to have have them sign a waiver that if they break TOS, they have to pay me, like for every single time they break TOS.
Based. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I really only think a couple of them are going to do it, but I have a as of now I have all right. So we have an undercard fight, then we have girl v girl. Everybody likes a little girl on girl action. Don't lie.
That's my favorite.
That's what we're talking tonight. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was Emmett against Witchy.
Female solo and girl v girl.
Oh my lord!
Dennis, and you say that way too smoothly, like you've ordered that before.
He's like, I
ordered it. I've created it. I got custom reels. Don't misunderstand. I'm a connoisseur. I don't go to www. I go to /. You understand?
I'm dead.
No.
Nah, not into that shit, Ahimsa. That's too far. But by the sound of that voice, if you're interested, give me a call, you know? I'm just saying. Your husband don't need to know.
My internet's glitching again.
Yeah. Those two are going to pass out from laughing themselves silly. Yeah.
Oh, but this is why I love streaming. Like I do my 2 hours whether I make money or not for this shit right here, bro. Like this shit, like I love, like, oh dude, IRL drinking and smoking with buddies and these type of conversations, bro. Like this is the type of shit that I live for. This is awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, we're like I don't know what I'm going to do about food, whether I'm going to provide food at this one or not. It's last time I did, and we ended up having a lot of food left, and I don't know. There's no alcohol in the building where we're going to be at, so they don't want us to have people drinking in there. So which is fine. I think we're going to try and set up an after party.
It's not a dry county, is it? Because there are areas around Dallas that were dry for a minute.
No, it's just the owners of the building's preference, and they're like, and they kind of sprung that on me. They were like, there's no alcohol. You guys aren't gonna be doing alcohol, are you? You're gonna have alcohol. I'm like, I'm not serving alcohol, that's for sure. But I was like, nah, I don't think it'll matter. I honestly don't want people to get all smashed and trashed. So it'll work out. You know, it's just going to be, there's going to be a total of 6 debates. I have time for 6 debates. It's going to culminate with, honestly,
what are the dates?
It's July
24th?
the 24th, Friday. I'm going to open the doors at 10 a.m. and we're going to shut down at 10 and clean up, and we have to be out by 10:30. So. Yeah, it'll be cool. It's gonna be awesome. And then I think we're gonna do an after party somewhere in down in like so the venue's in like in what they call the Cedars, which is central Dallas, I think. And so we'll just pick a bar or something there where people can go and or a nightclub or dance hall or some shit like that. Maybe like line dancing or cowboy action, something. I don't know.
Gillies. Yeah. Used to be.
So
That'll be fun. Are you meeting up with any local peeps that you know from online here? Like Landy.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Cleaner
not Landy.
409 is going to be there. Tyler,
Mhm.
like everybody actually there. I don't think only a couple of them are flying in. Most of the debaters live there.
Oh, great. Hmm.
Yeah, Bones of Doom, LSP, and Vince all live there. Well, maybe Vince may be flying in. I don't know, but Gibbs lives there. Like everybody's in fucking Dallas, man, or near Dallas.
Cool.
And I don't know. It's going to be off the chain, honestly. Like this is, and
Is that you, Mexican Einstein?
Yes, sir, it is.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
There's the
Chris.
homie.
Dude.
Mexican Einstein, thank you for coming to my debate. I have had friends for longer than I've known you who haven't showed up to any of my debates, and you came when I asked. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I had fun. That was
Grid,
fun.
this is Mexican Einstein. This is Grid One Motorsports. Really awesome dude. If I can get a mod or somebody to post Grid's link, Einstein, you should check it out. He usually does debates, but he's been gone for a while. And
yeah, I've
Grid's an
been
awesome
busy.
person.
So
It was my first one to attend today, as far as any kind of debates, anything online. I really liked it. I thought some things I liked, some things I didn't, but I think it's a cool concept. So
we're starting the debate show back up next weekend. OG.
Yes, I saw. That thing. Do you still need help with it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm still in there.
I'm going to try and figure all that out when I get back. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before I really get back, figure it out, all that kind of stuff.
Well, you know I'm down to help.
I know.
Definitely. And that's why I haven't been posting, because I knew you were doing something. I couldn't remember. How's GunCon treating you?
GunCon was awesome, man. I know so many people in the industry. It's funny. So I won a gun at Battle for the South, and it's an IWI. I forget what they call it, but it doesn't matter. And so IWI is there today. So I'm like, I walked over to their booth, and they got guns for you to shoot. Like, so today was range day. So basically all I did was shoot guns today and talk to people. And so I went over and I shot a couple of guns. I'm like, hey, I actually picked up one of these guns off the prize table. And they're like, oh yeah, it's this one. You want to shoot it? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's make it happen. So I shot it. And I'm like, hey, it's pretty good. And I started talking. I'm like, I've got to send it. I told the girl, I'm like, hey, I got to send in my certificate. Oh, you're going to send that in to me. And so we kept talking, and I've shot with her husband at matches out west. They just moved from Arizona to Tennessee, and now she's obviously in Ohio for the weekend, like I am. And I like her husband's like the coolest dude like ever. Like he's such a just a really awesome dude. I've shot with him many times over the years. I never really spent any time, because I don't hang out with people's wives, right? Like that's dumb. And so I never really even talked to her, I don't think. And we had a great conversation today, and I think that will lead to maybe some sponsorship opportunities or something like that. At least they'll come on my show and help out, which will be great. And then, I mean, it was all like that. So I'm at Bull Armory and I shoot their pistol, and, I talk to the guys and tell them, hey, I've been shooting one of these in competition off and on for 5 years or so. And I'm just talking to this dude, and he's being really cool and everything. And he came over and he shot a Phoenix Trinity while I was over there hanging out with my buddy Gil. And I saw him again at the food trucks at lunchtime. And I'm like, I shook his hand. I'm like, again, I'm like, hey man, I really want to tell you how much I really do like the Bull Armory gun. It's really been great. It's like the only gun in my collection I haven't done anything to, which is really rare for me. And he's like, oh, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And he's like, yeah, it's an old gun, but it's a great gun. I'm like, yeah, it really is. And I asked him, I said, what do you do at this company? I'm like, because I just expect him to say director of marketing or sales guy or something like that. He's the fucking president of the company.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's rad, dude.
Wow.
And I'm just like gushing over this gun, man. I'm like, man, I've had it for so long, and I shot the new guns, and they're cool and everything. And I'm like, and he's like, and he came over to Phoenix when he was at Phoenix Trinity. He was shooting the guns, and these are $8,000 pistols. The PTs are like $8,000. And he's like, they're so good. He's like, you guys have the best grip in the industry, bar none. He's like, I love everything about this.
I have said that to a lady before.
Of course you have. Why would you not? Why would you not? And the funny thing is that you would have used the word industry too, by the way. And so this is the president of Bull Armory telling another company that that this one thing they do is better than anything anybody else does. And I thought, I mean, it's just class, man. It's just total class. Like I had a great day, man. I'm tired, and I need to go to bed because I got to get up. I have to be back at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh wait, hold on. Where's my shit? I don't actually know what time I got to be there in the morning. I'll find out. What are they going to do? Yell at me? But yeah, GunCon's been awesome. It's going to be a busy couple of days because I'll finish tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll get finished tomorrow. I've got to drive 9 hours back to Tennessee. I don't think I'm going to get any sleep, and I'm going to shoot the match at Dead Zero tomorrow, and then I'm going to come home and go to sleep. And my son practices for state, the Clays tournament Monday, and then he shoots Tuesday and Thursday. He shoots Sporting Clays and Skeet Tuesday and Trap on Thursday. So busy week, busy time. And in between that, I've got to wrangle all of these fucking debaters.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. Maybe I can get some e-girls, and those are way easier to wrangle. You just show them the shiny objects, and they...
Maybe we can get some donations here, too.
Some what?
Let's go. I would appreciate some donations from the viewers if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are almost at the 2-hour mark.
There you go.
I'll give us 30 minutes. We ain't got no donos. We'll end it because this was a chill stream, and I don't think AVG is done, and I'm not going to review the debate until she is done doing her own streams. I feel like performance. I just feel like that's
weird that people review their own debates. Like, that's weird.
We should at least watch the opening statements.
I will watch the opening statements because I did want to see Witchy and Emmett's opening statements because I missed both of theirs.
AVG's done anyway, but maybe we're just too good to go over the debate that I was in because people don't review their own debates, right?
It's a little weird that people review their own debates. Yeah, I mean, I review them privately to be like, hey, I fucked up there. I shouldn't have said that, or I had a kill shot there that I didn't take.
No, you can review it. I thought you were talking about your streamer.
Sorry?
She hosted it though, right? AVG hosted it though. She's not going to review it, right? That's weird.
I don't think so.
13.
Well, she wasn't.
AVG will review it. She reviews all the debates she's in. I'm sure she'll review this. I mean, they sat and talked about it for the last few hours, but she reviews all of her debates on her channel.
That's what I was talking about. I wanted her to get done with her own stream before I jumped.
But she's done. Her stream ended.
Okay, cool. So we can do some of it. We're gonna watch the opening statements. If you guys want to continue, let's get some donos in. We're gonna do 30 minutes of it. I'm gonna go to the 2-hour and 30-minute mark, and we are at the 2-hour mark now. There we go.
I'm going to bring up the debaters now, and we'll get right started.
I told everyone in my Discord that I wrote this opening.
So debaters, we'll have Witchy Wishy go first for a 10-minute opening, then Emmett. And after the openings are done, we'll go into our 1 hour and 30-minute open dialogue. So Emmett, or sorry, Witchy, whenever you're ready, please start speaking and I will start your timer. I should switch these around.
Imagine yourself walking into a huge cathedral. And as you walk in, everybody is stopping and dipping their fingers and making the sign of the cross before they walk in. And everyone does this. And as you walk in, they approach the pews where, before taking a seat, they address the idol behind the altar with another sign of the cross and a bow or curtsy before taking their seat. Upon taking their seat, they drop to their knees in supplication to the idol of the familiar, who later they will drink his blood and eat of his flesh to absorb his glory and join him at the table of his Father in heaven. No, this is not a satanic cult. This is not a coven. This is the Mass of the Eucharist. It happens almost every day somewhere in the world. Some small churches only practice it once a month when the circuit priest can come, but they all know the dogma, the ritual. They all know that at some point a priest is going to take bread over his head and say, "This is my flesh, eat it." And he's going to lift a goblet. Pause for a second. "It's my blood, drink it."
Okay, give me 1 second.
Not only.
There you go.
I just want to throw out there, I don't pre-write an opening. So if you guys are going to critique it, that's great. But Dan, you can't take credit for pre-writing my opening for me because I don't pre-write it.
That's just his narcissism. We were joking around about that in Discord. Who's telling me about it? So I don't know. So far, so good. You know, as a Christian, I don't see it that way. But when I have these debates, I try to put myself outside of my own beliefs, and I can fully see where you're coming from. Right? From the outside looking in, if I didn't know anything about Christianity, these group dynamics and rituals that are done by like high church, like Catholics, Orthodox, even high church Protestants, like I can see why people would say that they are the same thing as witchcraft and other paganistic practices. Right? I can see it from your perspective.
Does the entire Mass involve ritual, but it starts out with a blessing of herbs. As their priest enters this building, he will bless you with scented herbs and incense. He will ask you to lay down your burdens and confess your sins to the familiar that is idolized on the cross above him. Then you have what's written in the Bible. The Bible specifically carries multiple curses. I throw out a number, I think it's right around a dozen actual curses, and then you bring in the plagues and a few other places. So roughly, let's say under 20, but more than a dozen curses that the Lord God places upon people. I contend that this is one example of how the church, rather than condemning the craft of magic and witchcraft, actually tries to take a monopoly on it, the way the state does on force. In the Bible, you will also find the word miracle quite a bit. And if you read through the scriptures that contain the miracles, these are magics performed. In one, he turns a whip into a snake. Another is bread becoming multiplied, and fishes becoming multiplied, and water to wine. All of these things reek of magic and the craft. There's nothing in the Bible that forbids priests from accepting God's gifts and being witness to miracles, but they do condemn a group of people for practicing the craft outside of the church. So I firmly believe that the church is practicing witchcraft in the day-to-day dogma as well as the liturgy of the Bible. So I don't think that there was ever an intention to stop magic through the church. It was always to usurp it and call it their own. And with that, I cede my time.
All right. Thank you for that, Witchy. Emmett, whenever you're ready, your opening statement, please.
It was
While
good.
I have you all here, somebody critique it a little bit.
I was going to like it was good, right? Because I didn't watch it the first time watching. It was very, very well done, to be honest. I didn't think it was as good as Dennison proclaimed it to be after watching it, but I understand where you're coming from because, like I said, from the outside looking in, I can understand why one would say that it's witchcraft or it's performing a ritual of some sort. Because, and I made this argument.
The only thing I want to throw out is I'm the affirmative. So I get to state the argument and he has to try to refute it. I have to try to prove it. He has to try to disprove it.
I don't believe in that. I believe in having a discussion more. I think that's dumb.
Right. But that's the point of debate. And I do want to point out that I stuck to dogma as being ritualistic witchcraft.
Yeah. Well,
he addresses that ever. That's all I wanted to.
If you look at, and this is what I said during the debate, if you look at it from a historical context of the way humans practice religion and faith, right? They have done these similar things in every religion, including Christianity, because that's just human superstition. It's what we do. And if you look at it objectively, they are very similar things. It's when you look at them as somebody who's trying to understand about the religion that they become very different, have very different symbology, very different meanings. Right? And I think the opening is very good. I don't think it's as good as Dennison made it out to be, but you can never believe the hype. I think it was a very good argument and a very good statement. I'm looking forward to see what Emmett has to say, because I think you and Emmett both did very well debating one another. It was the snarky bullshit and the tribalism that pissed me off. I got turned off in the open panel aspect because these people showed how lacking of intelligence they are. Whenever I speak or Dennison speaks to them, they come after us about appeals to fallacies, and then they were using every fallacy in the book when just talking with you, and it's just the hypocrisy aggravates the fuck out of me.
Yes, sir.
He didn't address it at all.
I'm gonna grab some sleep. I apologize. I was gonna hang out longer, but I'm yawning and shit. So
you're more than welcome to come back if you want to, Grid. Get you some sleep, man. You have been busy. I look forward to seeing some footage of SHOT Show or Gun Con or. So I look forward. It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be.
Didn't you rage quit the internet for a while over some stupid shit? Don't be a bitch over here. You're welcome to be over here, but don't be a cunt. And that's a rule for everybody.
Yeah, Nikki doesn't rage quit. You're just alluding to your own delusions.
I watched what happened with my own eyes. A bunch of people come up there being a tribalist cunt to Witchy, and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about by large. Glacier doesn't know what she's talking about. She tells people to open a book. She doesn't know the history she fucking claims. This girl made the claim that conversion of the sword didn't happen. Then you had some snide little weasel. What is it, witchcraft? Tee thinking that was a fucking gotcha.
You thought it was clever.
These people think
Yeah, they
they're the
just made
smartest
boring
motherfuckers.
assholes out of themselves.
These people think they're the smartest people on the planet, and they get backed up by fucking tribalism, and it's not doing them a fucking service. Now,
The only
I like
rage that was
Warhammer
involved
comedy,
was
but
all
don't be
the other people.
Yeah, it was literally their rage onto her.
And to be
And
fair,
I wouldn't have dealt with
I
that
couldn't answer
disrespect either.
questions. To be
Yeah,
fair,
no,
I
you got
couldn't answer
talked.
questions. She's correct, because every time I'd start to answer, somebody would talk over me. Every single time I tried to answer, they did ask questions. And when it was just me and I think Vital or something, the questions were at least somewhat genuine, and I was answering them to the best of my ability. The issue was when I'd start to get into my answer, I'd get cut off immediately. Glacier asked the same question 3 times, and I tried to answer it to her, and I don't think I got a full answer out to that question ever.
Yeah, no, these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and it's their tribalism bullshit. Like, don't be a cunt over here,
Peace
because
out,
I'm not
Grid.
going to allow anybody to be a cunt. But thank you for coming, Grid. You got any final thoughts, good sir?
Yeah, don't be a cunt. Rule number 1. Especially don't be a running cunt. And, as always, be cool.
Thank you for coming, brother, man. I like Grit, man. I love Grit to death. Emmett, see, and I'm disappointed in Emmett because I don't mind people running their mouth and talking shit. That's not the issue. The issue is ganging up on somebody when they're being as humble and as kind to you, and you just don't know them and you don't know the situation and you just want to run your mouth about them.
That's boring too. Like, you can't participate. I don't see any reason why she would be mad. She took 2 audiences of Orthodox Christians and lost by 2% in like a 51-49. Lost in quotation marks. So, if anything, I'm pretty sure she was in a pretty good mood and riding that win, that W high at the time.
Definitely on a high, and more than that, I think what made me quit. Like, I've sat through these panels. I sat through them at Beth's twice after debating AVG, where they come up and they attack me and they say things, and I'm just tired of being asked questions to have somebody who doesn't even know my point of view answer them for me or correct me about my own opinion. Like, granted, you're welcome to have your thoughts and share them with me, but to correct me on my opinion is like, why? What's the point? And to talk.
Well, I'd love to hear Jess come up
for me.
I'd love to hear Jess come up here and say how you contradicted yourself. And that opening was brilliant. I don't care what OG says. It reminded me of Hitchens himself. You took actual facts and interwove them into a story. And no, I mean, it's better than how I hyped it. And told a story, a narrative, gave a narrative, asserting your point of view, with facts interwoven into the story. It was so good, I almost would have quit and not even mentioned the curses and the other stuff in the Bible. It literally reminded me of Christopher Hitchens.
So before we continue, right? I took some screenshots because I didn't know if AVG edited her show, and that usually fucks up the
chats.
The chat. So I took some screenshots, and this is the first screenshot I took because I knew when I saw this there was going to be trouble. Charles,
I didn't read the chat until after.
He said, "I'm not religious, and I know fuck all about herbs, which you convinced me more the imminent. I'm calling it. She won." And immediately after that, church isn't magical, you dumb bitch. Emmett is smart and correct. Your ideals of good are subjective. Christianity has a theological understanding of what God is. Yeah, that only matters if you're part of the club, dum dum. If she's not part of the club, the theological understanding doesn't matter. You don't believe in it. Just because you call something magic doesn't make it so. No Christian calls any aspect of Christianity magic. That's bullshit. There's plenty of Christians that I know do it. The organized churches may not do it, but your Orthodox sect is not the only sect of Christianity, nor does the only Christian authority. Witches have a connection to the supernatural too. I don't think that was ever said otherwise. She doesn't have the understanding.
Well, Emma tried to claim she doesn't.
Well, here's the thing, like Dark Deaconess says she doesn't have the understanding of EO, the one true church. No, the fuck it's not. The Orthodox Church is not the one true church.
I've attended Orthodox celebration of the liturgy. It's no
which patriarchy?
Very little differences from the Roman Mass. Very little.
Which patriarchy? Yeah, the schism happened because of like a wording change. Like the rituals and the prayers and many of the saints are all the same. Like,
yeah, the only thing you forgot was the robes and the hoods. That was the only thing you left out of your story there in the beginning.
To mention the priest in his robes doing the incense, but like I said, I don't pre-write these things, and I probably should. But it's fun for me, not a job. So
no. Here's the annoying part, critique. Right? Here's my issue with this comment from Deaconess, right? Eastern Orthodox. Okay, do you mean Oriental Orthodox? Do you mean which patriarchy in the Middle East?
Russian. They mean Russian. I did ask that.
Russian, yeah.
Before. It is the Russian.
Well, see, my God. Okay, then they're not even fucking Orthodox because the Orthodox Church cucked to communism and changed half their fucking doctrine to appease the Stalinists.
That's true.
If they say fucking Orthodox Church and they mean Russian Orthodox, that's the one fucking. See, you couldn't even be part of the patriarchs in the Middle East.
I do want to throw out that none of them have completed catechisms to be confirmed in the church. I've completed catechism twice, both Greek Orthodox and Roman Orthodox, and have been confirmed in both churches.
See, it's almost like people on the internet proclaiming God are fucking just doing it because it's a fad. And it gets them attention and money. And this shit pisses me off because I actually believe in God.
Grid saying that me debating oh, sorry, go ahead, Mexican.
I mean, if you look at it, you're talking facts because, I mean, it preaches money. It preaches donating cash. And these preachers and all get all this, high-class living that they live into. It's part of that factor. They're abiding themselves to join this cult. They have to pay certain penance to deal with it, and they don't say it's wrong. They say it's okay. That's the Orthodox way.
Tithing, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that definitely plays into it. I didn't want to get in. I didn't want to get into that.
Are you sure they meant the Russian Orthodox and not ROKOR, Russian Orthodox outside of Russia? Because the Russian Orthodox outside of Russia didn't cuck to the Stalinists, but the Russian Orthodox did.
I didn't ask him to clarify what I asked him when he said that he was Orthodox. I said there's a lot of things that are Orthodox. I've been Greek Orthodox. There's Jewish Orthodox. There's so many orthodoxies. What Orthodox? And he said Eastern Orthodox. And I said, okay, do you mean Eastern as in Asian Orthodox or Russian Orthodox? And he said Russian Orthodox. That's as far as we clarified.
Well, that's the thing. You have the Eastern Orthodox Church, which is not the Russian Orthodox Church. That's the church that was in Constantinople. It's been moved around. And now I think it's in Jerusalem. I forget where it's at. But that's comprised of a council that's made up between, I believe, the Greek, the Ethiopians, and another Middle Eastern country. Then you have the Oriental Orthodox, which are just Gnostics pretending to be Orthodox. Like these people will talk about the one true church. And
here's the thing, though, is that I said Christianity. He never once in our pre-discussions or during the debate tried to narrow down Christianity only to the Eastern Orthodox. But I did try to cater to the fact that I know he claims to be Eastern Orthodox, and several times addressed this is even true in the Eastern Orthodox Church. And you even have another familiar between you and the Jesus familiar in that you have to go to your priest. So I did address that this applies to the Eastern Orthodox as well.
Well, see, the thing about it is, like, I'm not really talking about you and Emmett's debates right now, because I think you and his debate was very well. He did kind of fuck up, and I do think you won. But it's mainly the reaction
you want to address now, and I agree. The bullshit in the chat's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. What is your sources, bitch? Such a Christian thing to ask. You still use feelings as your basis of understanding. That's faith.
In all caps with 4 exclamation points.
That is literally, but that's faith, is it not? Is faith not feeling?
Yeah, but she wasn't even arguing faith. She was literally arguing the fact of ritual and dogma. She was arguing the facts of how Christianity is witchcraft. She didn't even use faith in her argument.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, well,
what's his name? Emmett kept bringing it back to that.
Ahim's, hold on, wait 1 second. Ahim's, if that's true, Arlim, I think they are all Russian East Orthodox, or at least Andrew, most are. The patriarch is in Moscow. Then it's a fucking ripoff. The Moscow patriarchy cucked to the Stalinists to the point that the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia, Rokor, is no longer in communion with them. They are no longer in communion with other Orthodox churches and organizations, because they cook to the communists on doctrine and dogma. So that whole thing where we can rely on the laying of hands back to Jesus, no, you can't, because the communists pick your fucking bishops, and my Jesus ain't communist. So that's a fucking non-starter right there, first and foremost. These people tonight have pissed me off the way they treated you, and it was like, I genuinely, you can ask Dennis, and I genuinely got pissed off. And I'm like, you know what? Because I was going to do the stream. Like, I was going to change the time to do the stream tomorrow to review the debate properly. But the way they treated you at the end, like, really fucking pissed me off. And it shows their fucking ignorance and their lies. They're not Christians. They're fucking demons that infiltrate the church just like Jesus said they would. And they fucking exert their will of their father. They're fucking Satan. They're the synagogue of Satan. They're new Jews, if you will. And they fucking do this shit, and they fuck with people that that actually live by the traditions and values that they say they hold. You're a mother who's fulfilled, you're a wife and a mother who's fulfilled their contract not once but twice, and is doing it a third time, because if you're a widow, you can always remarry. It's only if you get a divorce you're not allowed to remarry. And you as far as I know, you've never had an abortion. And you've taken care of your children and your fucking husband and was subservient to your spouse.
And I take care of a mother-in-law who's hated me even though her son is dead. And I participate with my new family and I go to mass with them because they're Catholic. Like, I respect the people in my life and I'm subservient to the people in my life because that's what brings me joy.
So you're living a more Christian life than these fucking demons. It's almost like combative people that find fads and tribes to get into are shitty fucking human beings in the bane of human existence, no matter if they proclaim Christianity or atheism or communism or conservatism or liberalism. It's almost like they're just fucking bad people. And they've never had a reality check because nobody stood their fucking ground, either because it's the internet or they're too fucking whiny for anybody to do it. But you know what? You motherfucking cunts found the right one. Glacier, you love talking shit on me and calling me a bitch. But sweetheart, you found the right one.
And they hate me because I won't wear their labels. They try to throw labels at me constantly, but they just don't fit me.
Well, this was her going after Abby Normal, because Abby's like, I'm a Christian, but I can understand what Witchy is talking about with white magic. And then Glacier's like, what is white magic? What is dark magic? How can she determine what it is if she doesn't have an objective basis to determine much things? Hell, what if there is no such thing as either? Well, that's a possibility, just like there's no such thing as God. Which is appealing to her fifis with all her arguments. Again, Emmett made this an argument about faith, And you cannot argue faith without an appeal to emotion. Again, this is why I say your fallacies are fucking retarded. You reject Christianity, Witchy. I've never once heard you say you reject Christianity. You reject their labels. Do you reject Christianity?
No.
So I reject the idea that I have to go through Jesus Christ in order to have a connection to the source.
Well, they may have an argument with that because it says in Christianity that Jesus is the only way.
But if you take the Christianity as a whole, the vast majority of Christians in the United States are Protestants, and they believe in a direct connection to God.
Well, God is part of the Trinity in that aspect, and that would be a direct connection to Jesus.
So I don't outright reject Christianity. I reject the idea that I have to put a human man in between me and God.
You reject the Trinity. You reject the Trinity, which is fine because the Trinity didn't exist until Christianity was in Europe, for those who didn't know. Here's the thing. The Trinity that they're defending isn't even a part of Orthodox theology. It was adopted later at the Church of Nicaea. The Trinity used to be heresy.
My fashion? Is that what I'm reading on your screen now?
What?
Now cast a spell that works for your clothing. Like, I'm not the one casting spells.
Wait.
No closing statement.
Wait. The Chatter King was on your side. He was just telling you to cast a spell that works, that you can prove it and fuck. Cause the Chatter King was like, she won.
For your
like, Chatter King was
closing.
just being a smart ass. Yeah, he meant to say closing.
Okay, because I was like, dude, I'm the only one up there who didn't, the only female up there who doesn't wear makeup and doesn't have Botox and doesn't spend thousands on name brands for cosmetics.
The thing that got me with the debate is definitely how they ganged up on you. It definitely, to me, was a one-sided debate as far as the emotion and feeling. That's why I said I had some feelings about some things I didn't like. Then after the debate is over, like you guys are saying, you have all these Christian people who feel like this is their way, then jump on you for your beliefs and how you believe, and attack you to say that you aren't a Christian, but you believe in these styles. I see a lot of similarities to both what you were saying and what Emmett was saying, but you got to look at the things that are exact. You have the bowing down, the humming of words, the singing, all these things that are chanted in these things. Don't these qualify as factors of rituals of witchcraft in the church?
Absolutely.
If you look at them objectively and you don't say, okay, I'm a Christian, so it's special, right? And I can do that because I am a Christian and I can tell you the differences without being a fucking asshole. But if you look at it objectively, yes, this is the same thing as any other belief that humans have been doing. But if you want to answer that, which I'm sure that was to you, you can. I'm sorry, I'm angry about this.
No, you're absolutely right, Mexican Einstein, about those things also contributing. I didn't get to everything I wanted to in the time. She actually had to cut us off because he kept trying to go back to the difference is the intent, that Christians use these rituals for good and witches use it for self-serving purposes.
Right.
But he had to admit that they use it for self-serving as well when they pray for my ailing grandma. And so he would shift away from that again and go back to the idea that the pagans and witches want to only serve themselves and are only looking out for their own good. And yet his own sources were about Wiccan witches being providing maternal care and being the midwives in history.
Yes, Ahimsa, donate Doji to get full-on rage mode, please. The more you donate, the more I'll act wild and actually let my feelings out in a deconstructive way, because I'm tired of these people. Like, I genuinely dislike them. Please donate to extend the show. Again, like I said, we're nearing that 30-minute mark, but I think I'm gonna do some freebies because I don't like the way they treated Witchy, and I want to slam the fucking perpetrators of it for being the stupid, vicious, vile weasel scumbags that they are.
I think at the end, what made me angry with what's her name, the Glacier Girl, is I debated her before, right? And when I debated her the last time, when I debated her at Emmett's, she did kind of the same thing where she would keep asking me the same question without ever giving me a chance to respond. And one of the
It's a
things
low
I noticed,
IQ debate tactic.
one of the
Trey
things I
asked
noticed
you the
about
same question.
AVG tonight and Emmett the same that night is they don't stop that. They're not like, okay, well, AVG tried a couple times. Okay, let her answer the question. And Emmett tried a couple times when I was on his channel too. I have to admit that. But overall, they kind of let people filibuster. They literally ask you a question and then talk over it so that you can't answer. So they're not even ready to listen to your answer. Why ask the question?
See that?
Yeah, well, see, here's another comment from Glacier, because I took so many that I had to do double stack. So her beliefs are arbitrary with no grounding outside of her feelings. Well, that's faith. No structure whatsoever, including her prescriptions. That would be the same for you, because the only structure are the prescriptions of your priests. And understanding of Christianity. She actually understands Christianity quite well. It's you guys don't like her. And you guys are not able to argue from anything other than faith. And no, it's not fallacious.
What the fuck does that have to do with the debate? The debate had nothing to do about my beliefs. It had to do about whether or not the dogma of the church is witchcraft. Like I didn't even discuss my beliefs. The one time my beliefs were questioned of me, it was by Glacier at the very end during the questioning. Then that's the question she never let me answer. Like they're presuming my beliefs. I didn't even talk about my beliefs. I talked about the behaviors within the church that are witchcraft. And this is the same thing they do with every debate is they come back at it. Oh, well, her beliefs are unfounded because they aren't the same as mine.
No, she says
I never
pick
even
up a
debated my
book.
beliefs in any of these debates.
Well, Glacier says pick up a book, but she's and I think it happened on this channel, even on my show, where fucking Glacier literally tried to say that there was no conversions by the sword. And I'm like, there were literally European crusades on other Europeans to convert them from paganism, like Asatru, to Christianity. The fuck are you talking about? Like, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Orthodox, the people that I talk to, and they don't believe me. They don't believe that Christianity led the most crusades, the most tyranny, the most anything in to people. If you don't believe in my God, well, then you don't get to live.
See, I find that
assimilate.
I find that emphatically based, right? I have no issue with that. I can make an argument for why that's necessary for human development.
Well, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it was assimilate. Resistance is futile. That is literally the Catholic Church.
Yeah, that was most of Christianity, even the Orthodox. The thing is, the Orthodox went through a Reformation during, I believe it was the schism, or it might have been shortly before the schism, where they started legalism instead of being armed pilgrims. Instead of being armed religious, they started a form of legalism. And that's why there was one comment I thought of something that was said about legal. I think Emmett said something about legalism. And I'm literally, you can ask Denny, I'm literally yelling in the Discord, like, you motherfucker, Orthodox Christianity is where Christians get the fucking legalism from. We literally have our legalism because of you fucks. And legalism is gay.
And then the other thing was they were saying I was conflating Catholicism with Orthodox Christians. But the debate wasn't only about Orthodox Christians. It was about Christianity as a whole. And the largest group of Christians in the world are the Catholics. In the U.S., Protestants probably outnumber them, but in the world,
you're goddamn right.
Well, no. Here's the thing, and this is.
I once challenged Glacier to a duel with actual swords in the cafeteria.
No, you did.
Crazy. Glacier says, "Why?"
Yes, and then I subdued her with my manly strength, and she succumbed to my masculinity, threw down her sword, and embraced me into her bosom.
And then stabs you in the back because she's an ortho, bro. Where's your religious text on witchcraft? Well, they exist. And Christians like her, again, destroyed these texts because they're not really Christians. They're seeking power. See, to me, a Christian ethic that is something that you'll see in all true Christians, regardless of sect, is a desire to understand knowledge. God created everything in this universe. It's our duty to understand it. And you'll see Christians
Okay.
take back their church occasionally.
Okay, this is the same woman who told me to pick up a book, and now she's asking
Yeah.
where are my beliefs coming from. Well, they come from religious texts. They come from the Bible, the Quran, oh my God, my brain is just not. I've read almost every religious writing you can imagine, from the Necronomicon to the King James version of the Bible to the Ethiopian version of the Bible to all of the I can't
That
think of the
reminds
names
me,
of
Andrew
them.
Wilson is Eastern
The
Orthodox.
Hindu and just most of these people haven't even read their own Bible. They'll even tell you if you ask them to read quotes from the Bible with you that, well, I need my priest here to interpret that for me.
Yeah, and that's
The
one.
Bhagavad Gita.
But she's
That's
telling
one-
me to pick up a book, even though I've read the books. That's the
Well, that's
what
why
the religious
Protestants.
text my beliefs are based on are all the books.
Well, the same thing as
And the
Catholics do that too.
Mahabharata.
Catholics do that too, and that's why Protestants are the most educated Christians, because they're taught to not only read their Bibles and interpret the Bibles and understand the Bibles, but they're also taught, if you have a real good Protestant religion or Protestant community, they're taught to read and understand everything with the same context as they would a Bible, whether it be science, other religions, art. That's why Protestants produce better people. That's why your boy is proud of his Protestant heritage. He doesn't like the fucking liberalism of Protestantism, but I love my Protestant heritage and my Protestant work ethic. Then go kiss my fucking
As I
ass.
felt the cool, stinging trickle between my plates of armor, I looked up at her and I said it was worth it for just one kiss, my
That's
glacier
crazy.
maniac.
That's crazy. Denison, that's crazy. But Shadow King says most of them are not even Orthodox yet because it's like $5,000 to get baptized anyway. I didn't know that. That's crazy. But she says, where is your structure? Your beliefs are independent of you. No, there are organizations that have tried to research the knowledge that Christians like her destroyed. Christians like me want to preserve that knowledge. We may not believe in it. We may not let every person have it, but it would still exist if it. I think I may be Catholic just because I want to preserve fucking shit. So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe out of spite, because I was honestly for the longest thinking about.
Then what they
Yeah.
just said about it costing $5,000 to become Orthodox makes my comparison to Scientology more relevant.
It does. I don't know if that's true though. I'm not gonna take that at face value.
It
'cause I don't know
would have got the laugh I wanted. He knew what I was saying. You got to buy your way in. You have to tithe your way into churches.
Well, I think that I'm going to convert to
Mexicans
Catholicism just out of spite, because for the longest I was looking at Orthodox Christianity, and these people have made me just like not like Orthodoxy. Remember, and I had to catch this one. Cypher said, "Remember when I called Witchy a fork-tongued, lying, disgusting woman? I stand by it." Y'all remember when I called Cypher a woman and then a tranny when he said he wasn't a woman? I stand by it. I also stand by calling them the Pleasure Squad and cowards.
Yeah, name the lie too, Cypher. Name the lie.
He can't. That's the problem. They called her everything but a liar. Well, hold on.
Well, I don't even think they argued the facts that like Witchy said. She brought statements of how the church is using these factors or still use these present day actions as a witchcraft style system, and they never argued back on that. They always let off with reaching God between Jesus, and I didn't understand that the whole time, bro. I got lost.
Bro. They wear flashy embroidered robes and funny hats and then sway incense around the room while chanting incantation. I mean, for fuck's sakes, they're a bunch of warlocks.
After I thought they still wear the robes.
Halted said the masculine desire to be a spooky librarian in the Catholic Church. Is that the male equivalent? Is that the male equivalent of a witch?
Can never have sex, right?
That's why I don't like the Catholic Church. That's why I can never be a Catholic priest, because, like, how can you be a father? Because you can't.
He kept bringing
You
up that
can't
there are
fuck.
witches in history supposedly who have used black magics to do negative things upon people and stuff. And I'm like, the curses in the Bible. And how about the priests? Like, you want to talk about like a small group of witches who might be doing black magic maybe out there. I don't believe that that's the kind of stuff he's talking about is actually possible. Um,
Satanists are Christians.
Yeah,
but
they
how
do fall.
about
It
the
does fall
priests
under
touching the
Abrahamic
little boys
faiths.
in the back room? Like, you want to bring up that there's one small sect of people who does things wrong in a group.
But didn't you bring up a verse earlier, Dennison, that showed basically a spell of witchcraft for telling whether a man's
Yeah.
wife
I
is,
read
Yeah,
I
you
read from 6 of them during the debate.
you know?
Well,
you
so you
sprinkle
have.
dust and
Go ahead.
you offer a piece of burnt barley as a sacrificial offering to the Lord, who appears before you in a temple when you anoint the pregnant woman with dusted oil, and then you incant over her belly to imbue her body with the spirit of the Lord, so that he can check her womb to see if she's a slut or not, and if she
You
cheated
gotta
on her
say it. You gotta
husband.
say it. You gotta say it. Ahua.
Ahua.
Ahua. Yeah.
I was gonna say Ahua. and if she was Ahua, then he kills the baby and she has a miscarriage and abortion. Or if not, then she says amen and she's free to have children and he blesses her womb.
Sounds like an incantation or a spell to me. And used
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah, the only thing is only the priest is allowed to do it.
Or
you know
to
what?
be-
Wi-Fi. I don't disagree with you. I am literally a Christian fundamentalist, but I also believe that like one of the tenets in my Christianity is God gave us a fucking brain and intends us to use it. And knowledge and wisdom and understanding the universe around us and being stewards of that is literally the first commandment from God to Adam.
What you're saying there doesn't matter what you think. Every knee will bend to Jesus Christ has nothing to do with the fucking debate. Nobody said whether Christianity was the one true religion or not as a premise of the debate. The premise of the debate was that they're practicing witchcraft in the church.
Quit going away from the subject, people. Damn it.
But Mystic Marks dropped 2
I
bangers.
want to take it back to my beliefs, which have in every single debate I've been in, my beliefs do create a bias towards the subject for me, but they're not what I'm discussing in the debate. We're discussing specific ideas, and they always want to take it back to undermining my belief as opposed to addressing the subject of the debate.
Because they can't beat you
The
in the
battery.
debate. They have to attack you.
Yeah.
Instead of attacking your
The
argument.
battery on my headset is dying. You're all a bunch of bundle of sticks. Go fuck yourselves.
Good night, Dennison. Good night. Yeah, because I will go over the debate tomorrow with you, the actual debate. I'm gonna change this into post debate hangout.
I will try to stop by at some point, but Saturdays and Sundays are family days, so I won't be around much.
That's completely understandable. But so I wanted you to know you also had some supporters and some people like Charles Darwin said that, and I knew as soon as he said that because he's kind of associated with their camp that fucking that the all shit was gonna pop off. That's why I started screenshotting because I wanted to talk about their behavior. Because anytime you call out their behavior, they get very uppity because they know it's wrong. As Christians, they know it's wrong. They don't like being called out by people that are also Christian. They expect to be able to call out Protestants, Catholics, and every other sect of Christianity, but then get mad when Christians go, no, that's not how we Christians are supposed to act. They get upset about it. But Mystical Mark says, if I call him a saint, you adore him. But if I call that same man a wizard, you burn him. And then like Glacier fell for it because I said prods, am I right, guys? And then she was like, Protestant. Oh man, there was more to to that, but I looked at my phone. I couldn't find the thing. But that opening statement from you was pretty good. I don't agree with Dennison that it was like the greatest thing known to man, but it was a pretty beast. And I will say, watching your debates, I think I've watched all of them. I was a little bit late to that one, but you've won 2 of the 3 that I saw, and you had a draw with one. The Narcan one didn't convince me either way because, like, I'm already on your side. I don't like addicts or drug dealers, and I don't like the thought of just letting them get Narcan and resurrected 80,000 times when they OD 80,000 times. But like, because like only one
on that one, I missed the opportunity since she's Christian in using the word resurrection, like to draw upon.
I was mad that you didn't.
Humans to be resurrecting everybody. That's
because I was just about to say only one man was resurrected, and I don't like the thought of these meth heads being on the same level. They ain't walking on water.
I should have come up with that, and now that you said it, that was definitely a missed point in that debate.
But I think that I genuinely, and I'm not, and you know, me and you've had words like I said at the beginning when you first came up. Like, I don't know if Witchy likes me, but I fuck with her and Emmett both because you've been a smart ass to me a couple times, and I don't know if that's just you joking or whatever. And I think it's you joking because I picked up on a comment you made during the debate to Emmett. And I think Einstein was there for this when me and Dennison was talking. It's like, I see what she did there, and I realized that it ain't no hate towards me. She just being a smart ass, and I appreciate the fuck out of some good old smart assery.
Yeah, so I was a bartender for nearly 20 years. I'm a small, very white woman in a predominantly Hispanic area, but both of the bars I worked at long term were predominantly Hispanic customers. Me hablo español poquito bueno, comprendo más que me hablo, right? But you have to be sarcastic, and I can take people attacking me. What I can't take is the disingenuousness. Like, if you really don't want me there to answer questions and participate, then why the fuck am I sticking around?
You know, Halton, if I said I didn't have time, I would be lying, right? I had plenty of time, but I didn't have the resources to get access to the book. And that's what sucks, because while I was sitting there doing nothing without being able to stream, all I could do was like work out and watch TV, keep from going crazy after the fire, because like I had no ability to do anything, and I had to manage my money.
You know, OG, you can sign up online for a local online library card. And if your library doesn't have an audiobook or a digital book of something, they have cross-lending libraries where they'll borrow that digital copy from another library and you can read it on your fucking laptop or your phone for free.
I did not know that.
Well, PSA to everyone out there. You can, in most jurisdictions, you can apply for your library card online. You get your library card and then you can access their online library. And most libraries have a connection to all libraries for interlibrary loans so that you can get digital copies of just about, at this point, they've got almost every book ever written digitized.
Good. They should.
Really, I'm gonna go get me a library card. Holy snap!
For real. I'm about to use my last little $5 until I get paid to fucking sign up for one. That sounds fucking beast mode.
Yeah,
I love knowledge.
Go ahead.
I love knowledge, bro. I don't like reading pretty much, and I spoke why, but I love learning. I love learning. I love knowledge.
I'm a bibliophile.
What?
A bibliophile. I love books. I've read thousands of books. Books are like, you know how some people are about porn? They watch it every day. Well, I'm that way about reading. I read every day.
She reads porn every day. Is what she's trying to tell.
She's reading porn every day.
If you want some really good porn, I can recommend some really good writers, including my own pen name in the back chat one of these days.
You know what? I don't watch porn, but I'll read some good novellas. I ain't gonna lie to you. if they actually good stories. That is, I like my novellas to actually have a story. I don't mind really vivid sex scenes in my novellas, but if it's just smashing all the time and it ain't got no good story, it ain't a good thing. Because here's the thing, and here's how I look at it. And I've had this discussion with like religious people, right? Sex is a part of the human experience.
Yes.
It was put here by God. The reason it feels good is so you do it until a baby's made. Right? And when you have art and you have this expression, right, you have to include that in some form or fashion, whether you just go, oh, it's love and a peck on the cheek, or you show them start to get into it. And that's the thing, like that's different levels of art. That's why you have to protect your children, because you want to protect that innocence. You don't want them to get exposed to certain stuff too early. But the same thing, it's not just sex, it's death, drugs, and alcohol, violence even. You don't want them to be exposed to. But people have this hang up about sex, and it's crazy to me. Like, I don't watch porn because it's degenerate. Porn is literally meant to be a weapon. It's not a story. It's not a story. It's not actual art. It's disguised as art, and it ruins your fucking brain. But if you're talking about like actual heart or actual art where it shows the human body and human experience, and you can glean things from it, and it tells a story. And this is why me and Chuck go round and round when he shits on people who watch Hollywood and glimes like life experience from it. It's like, bro, that's stories. That's what humans have been programmed to do since the beginning of time. We teach our virtues and teach our next generation using stories. You want to get in on this? Go ahead, Mexican Einstein. Go ahead, brother.
No. Bro, I like the way you think. First, let me start off with that. I haven't really got to really meet you. I think I've talked to you a couple times before, but I like the way you think. You call yourself a Christian, but you don't follow the ideology of what the mainstream Christian is, which I can accept. That's kind of different. I don't get that reaction from different people. Dennison is another person I'm getting a reaction with as well, as far as communications out here. You guys, I think I understand y'all a little bit more than what I know, because you guys have the same thought process in some of these factors that I have. I like that, bro. It's really nice to actually meet people out here in the world who kind of think like me. I used to be Christian. I used to be, believe that everything was done the way the Christian ways were. I got baptized in a river, as in the Baptist faith. And then a whole lot of things led me to fall away from the faith. But I think talking to people like you, who are against the people who are in the mainstream aspect of Christianity, I think I can hang with you, homie. And
hell yeah. Well, God has always stated that we will fall short to the glory of God. So all this moral fagging or moral slurring, however you want to say it, these coming after people about morality, unless they are harming society, like you can prove that these individuals or this group is harming society or this action is harming society, stop being a judgmental prick. It's like the people who judge a young woman for doing porn. Right? The people that talk the most shit, you walk into their room without knocking, you probably see the girl on the screen, they're meeting their hands. Right? Or the chicks who do the same shit. You walk in on them and they got a fucking 10-inch vibrator going zzz, zzz, just wearing that motherfucking thing out. And it's the hypocrisy that pisses me off. Yes, Halted, I enjoy it for the plot. Well, the thing is, like, it's not the porn itself. Like, it's not the porn. It's the story, right? Pornography is any explicit material. By the way, pornography, violence can be pornographic.
I got a book for you. Haunting Adeline.
Post it to back chat.
Yeah, it is a good book, bro. And it's a 2 book. I'm on the second part, and it's right along the style of books you're talking about. So. And my friends,
you got to understand the human experience, man.
Yep.
Because God literally created humanity. Oh, that's true. Somebody just messaged me and said Emmett's streaming us. Hey, Emmett, you could have just came on and talked to me. We're homies. I mean, I don't hate you. I just think you lost this debate, and then your tribe came up being dicks to Witchy for no reason.
That's kind of facts. I'm in agreement with you on that. I did not like the attack afterwards. I did not like how the chat was attacking her, and
He
not
only watches
understanding-
it for the sequels, bro. I do not watch I do not watch pornography. Pornography is gross. Now, if you give me a great story, like if you give me like Gundam and a sex scene or two, like I'm not gonna be mad, right? But if it's just sex scene, shopping mall, sex scene in the shopping mall, I'm gonna be a little bit mad, but like get the fuck off my screen. It's like when two people kiss at the wrong time in a movie, I'd be getting mad. Like, why are you kissing this bitch? There's a mission to be done. This is the climax. Stop it. It makes me mad, bro. It makes me mad as fuck. But like, have you ever watched Gundam Mexican Einstein? Because I don't watch a lot of anime, but Gundam, Gundam. It doesn't matter which one it is. Like Iron Blooded Orphans has been my favorite Gundam so far, but I've been watching like all the Gundam series, and like I'm not a soldier, but I've been shot at, and I was grown up by very militaristic cults. So like it speaks to me, like, because like I said, when you've gotten shot at and you've returned fire, you don't have to be in the military to understand that violence is a very human experience. And it's one of like all these like I don't know if you noticed, but people call me emotional. Like, bro, I'm just in tune with the vibrations of reality, dog. Like y'all don't like it because there's something broken in y'all, and y'all can't handle my rainbows.
Here's the thing. I'm a person just like you, bro. I love to share and give people joy. Like even walking in the store, I will try to make the cashier or whatever smile, or just try to be nice to people. I think being nice to people is I think the best way of Christianity that can be actually put out there, and a lot of people don't do it. You're talking about those people that are hateful, the heathens, the ones who are destroying Christianity. Those people in that chat today were that.
I don't completely disagree with you, but Emmett coined this term for me, and I'm stealing it because I agree with it. It's kindness, not niceties. Not being nice is a weakness. Kindness is where you know the outcome may be negative for you, or you risk something to shine God's light and be a tool for God. And you make that sacrifice. Being nice is naive. Being nice is dumb. And sometimes you do the work of the devil when you're nice, right? Because if you're being nice, you'll let people run over you. You'll let people destroy your faith. You'll let people harm you in the sake of being nice. But when you're kind, you know when a step's too far and you got to punch somebody in the jaw or run a sword through them. And I prefer to be kind, because I think there is a time to you fight for your faith.
So there's
but
cope
I don't
going
think
on
that's
right now. OG, the cope is that the reason the vote was close is because Emmett had a bunch of haters vote against him. It was just because they hate him, not that they voted.
Emmett, I voted against you, and you're my homie. I genuinely think Witchy got the best of you, and so did several people that's associated with you.
And they totally want to know where they were disingenuous. Like that's hilarious to me.
If you're nice, you're retarded. Wi-Fi. You should be kind. Being nice is naivety, and being the cult of nicety is doing the work of Satan.
What were you saying?
I'm gonna remember that too. So.
Well, I mean, there comes a time where you have to kill and die for your beliefs, and that's part of the human experience too. And people don't like looking at it like that. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you're going to be like, this is why I don't get along with hippies. If you're going to be for the human experience, whether you do it from a Christian or religious aspect, or you do it from a atheist or hedonist aspect, and this is what I don't like about either one of those things, right? Hippies, Christians, hedonists, atheists, they want to explore the human experience only for the things they like. The tragedies that I have gone through have exposed me to the best and worst of the human experience. You have to deal with it because it is life. It is existence. You have to overcome it. And that goes into my political beliefs. And I should have known it because my political beliefs, I believe in the eternal struggle. And that's part of like being a man, is overcoming the eternal struggle. But all of these things, I'm seeing the connection in all of these things, and I'm starting to be able to make my own dogma and belief system through all of it. That makes sense.
I'll make sense. The way you talk makes sense, bro. So at least to me in my brain, and like I said, that's why I think I'm probably gonna end up coming back more and more often. I am probably gonna head out for a minute because I gotta step outside and smoke, and then I'll lay down because it's late for me here. But interesting today for me, Orthodox, and thank you for having me today. I appreciate it, and for all you out there, he's a good guy. I like the way he speaks. So, brother, thank you for having me. I'm gonna head out.
You are more than welcome, brother man. Thank you for coming. You have a wonderful day and be safe. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mexican Einstein, for coming. That was so cool. I met him recently, and I've been on his panel a couple times, and Den told him that we were going to have this specific debate, and he's been saying he wanted to see it. So
I've talked to Einstein, like you said, like, we've talked a couple of times. We didn't have a good meeting. It was never been like kind of a one-on-one or just a few person get together. It's always been like panels with 4 or more people. So like, I think Einstein's cool as fuck. He's also very fucking smart. I've listened to it.
I like his channel. I like his panels. I watch them frequently.
Vividness, don't confuse kindness for weakness. Greetings, OG, and everyone on panel and chat. Exactly. That's my point I was getting at, right? People, and that's why I will never be nice again in my life, because, like I said, niceness, the cult of niceties, is the devil's work, and it's naivety. It's stupidity. It's being kindness. You're making a sacrifice, and you're giving people a chance when you know it could hurt you. And then when they take it as a weakness, you draw that fucking sword and you disembowel them. Because you got to know when to fight. It's all part of the human experience. But Witchy, I am thinking about getting out of here because I gave him an extra hour and no donos.
Yeah, no, it's late and it's time to go. But thank you for having me up and allowing me to unwind here after that, because I needed that. And
you're welcome. I just don't like the way they attacked you, darling. It pissed me off, and I expected better from my friend.
I'll try to come around for the review, but no promises, because like I said, weekends are hard for me.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know. We may not go for wood this week. So if we don't go for wood this week, I might be available. But we'll talk to you later. You have a good night. Thanks for having me up. And everybody who didn't actually watch the debate, you watch the debate. Give AVG some views. I know OG don't like her, but like him and Emmett are buddies. I like Emmett. I like AVG. I don't have anything against them on a personal level. I enjoy their streams. I attend them. I've been on their panels. What happened in the post debate tonight was shameful, but I was totally expecting it. I just decided after the last time I wasn't sitting through it again.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. And I love, like, I just tuned in to grab the link to raid Emmett, and I love how his chat is attacking me and saying, like, I'm biased towards women when everybody over here says I fight with women too much. Like, and this is why
the irony.
This is why I don't care what people think about me in general. You can stay and give I'm starting my monologue. You can stay and give your opinion if you want, but if you want,
no, I'm gonna head out. Good night, OG.
Good night, darling. And like this is so, ladies and gentlemen, this is my monologue, and then we will be ending it. Like, this is why, like, whenever, like, I love how it's like when I was younger and I first became a National Socialist. The Republicans that I knew would call me a Democrat leftist, and the conservatives I knew, and the liberals I knew would call me a Republican fascist, like a Republican conservative fascist. And like, I don't care. Chat, I love you to death, but I don't care what you people think. Damn sure don't give a fuck what a bunch of hypocrites and fucking retards and tribalists over at Emmett's think. Emmett's my homie. I like him. If he speaks against me during his stream, so fucking be it. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. And I can also go and tell him how he's fucking retarded and wrong. just like I would fucking just like I'm doing now, and I plan on doing tomorrow when we go over the actual debate. I guess I struck a chord with thinking Witchy won, but since you were watching, hopefully you get to the end of my stream, Emmett, and y'all can tell him that there's a message for him at the end. That during this debate, Emmett, you made several mistakes. You didn't know your enemy, so you didn't know what she thought. That's on you. That's not on her. You assumed falsely that the source, as she calls it, would automatically do your bidding and not its, right? Meaning that just because you ask or you do these rituals doesn't mean it's going to automatically help you. And you are looking at it purely assuming that Orthodox Christianity is the only Christian authority in existence and it's the right one. Fair enough for you, but it literally made you lose the debate. She is talking about inhuman and how humans have practiced religion for millennia and will continue to do so throughout our existence. It's just how we are. We're superstitious that way. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. One Christian to another, brother, you lost that one. You can rely on your tribe pumping you up and be made a worse debater for it and not recognize the mistakes that you made. Or you can listen to somebody who has been your friend and is just trying to give you good advice. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about debates. I prefer conversations. That's my style anyway. But y'all can let Emmett know that was for him. Thank y'all for coming. I'm sending you his way anyway. Much love, everybody. Y'all go tell Emmett I said hey. And I'll be over there in a little bit.